Project Hail Mary makes all the money. Man, they should have been doing Star Wars. We know that. But what does that mean overall? Is this a good sign for movies? Is this a good sign for IMAX? 141 million global start for Project Hail Mary. Arnold, we talked about him with King Conan. He's prepping for it. We also talk about the directors, Lord and Miller. They're talking about the live action Spider-Man offer that they got. John Boyega talks about what's going on with the new leadership at Lucasfilm. Alan Ritchson beats the shit out of his neighbor, and Chaperone says, F you kids. So that and more on the show today with myself and the outlaw, John Roca. Let's get into it, everybody. You ready? Yeah, me too. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday. Joining me on the show, and I'll have to adjust my shots because he decided to come in right now. Not a minute before so I can prep my shots. Not 2 minutes before. Right now. There he is. Where is he? Look at that. Perfect.
I'm sorry. What? It's good. The shot's good. We're good.
Great. It's great. Now I have to adjust my two shot.
What?
The lower thirds aren't even in there.
Perfect.
It's amazing.
Where's the lower thirds? Who is doing
I mean, come on. What's the deal with the lower thirds? You're too busy tweeting about Chaperone.
Chaperone! Leave the kids alone, for God. Will no one think of the kids? Jesus Christ.
Well, you got to start with that. I mean, what a disaster. I'll tell you this. I know nothing about this woman except the fact that my daughter had listened to her a couple of times and heard songs like, in the car. I know nothing about her. I don't know anything about her personality. I know nothing. I will tell you that what I've seen so far, and I could be wrong. I think she's full of shit.
Yes, he is full of shit. He's been full of shit for a while now, man. This is
I know nothing about this. Okay. I really don't. Okay. And I could be 100% wrong. Like, you don't know that kid. All I saw video footage of her walking at one point with a security guard.
Yeah.
She didn't like what was going on. So she just literally like Cersei style with the mountain. And just went like this, and that guy just went right after her. Nice. And then the reports are that basically she did the same thing to some 11-year-old. And I'm like, yeah. And then the mother comes out going, because I guess Chaperone said, well, it's not. It's a hotel. It was a hotel security. It wasn't mine. First thing the mother says, well, it wasn't hotel security.
Yeah.
So I know you've been tweeting about it. I never get involved in stuff like this, but I love it. When it comes to kids, though, it's like I believe the kid. I believe the mom here, and I think she's full of shit.
Yeah, I think she's a arrogant little shit who got successful. She wanted to be famous. She's a former Starbucks barista who failed out a couple of times trying to be famous and didn't like going back to her hometown to be back at that Starbucks or whatever. And she found her way in. And she basically, in my opinion, culturally appropriated drag culture for herself. And she has used that and parlayed it to an easy road to attention. And now she's become famous. And some of her music people really like, and so it's all respect to that. But yeah, there's been a lot of off-camera behavior with her that's been a little unsettling and kind of shows you a window into this person's prickly personality.
Yeah, like I said, I don't see the benefit of this kid kind of, lying. And I don't think that they really say that she is lying, but I think more so saying, well, it wasn't us. We didn't do it. It's like, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. And had the mother said, well, it very well could have been the hotel security.
Right.
Things got a little messed up, but the mother was trying to be as, I guess, cordial as she could.
Yeah.
Because I ain't doing that with my kids.
She's had a brush with fame. Her mom was a singer on, I think, of The Voice in the UK. She had the kid with Jude Law. That is Jude Law's child they're talking about. Okay. By the way, Jude Law, 7 children. I had no idea. 4 different women. Amazing.
You have no idea.
He should play for the Indians.
Should have 75 kids.
That's a fair point. But so the 11-year-old kid's going to know how to be around celebrities. Her stepdad's a famous soccer player. So it's like, there's not that issue. So, and all she did apparently was walk by the table and smile at her. Yeah. And security guard went over and berated them at their own table. That's the part of it that's crazy.
11-year-old. I mean, come on. Yeah. What's wrong? Anyway, so she stinks. But you don't know what's going to happen though. We'll see if sometimes you can make it come back. But it reminds me of the Ultimate Warrior when the Ultimate Warrior did that to that kid. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. A full apology. Vince made him do an apology on the video. Just do a Chapel Roan apology video.
The memes have been amazing. The gifs have been amazing.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
showing adults treating children terribly. It's hilarious.
I don't know what movie it was from. But it was like it looked like Avatar or something. It was a green screen. They said footage of Chapel Roan's security escorting a child, and it's got like this dummy slamming its head into the wall.
All the Hornswoggle gifs have been amazing.
Hilarious.
Chapel Roan security guard against the children.
This is why the internet, sometimes I forgive it for being horrible. Anyway, so there's that, and then you got Alan Ritchson beating the piss out of his neighbor. Did you see this?
Oh my god, I haven't seen the video. I read about it last night. Can you show the video?
I have the video. I want to see if I want to see.
I can watch it.
No, I've got it. I just want to see if, because Luke sent me a version of it, but I don't know if it's. Do we have it? No, it has problems sharing the video.
Is it on Twitter? Okay, I'll watch it on Twitter. But
yeah, he sent me the video, and I asked him to put it into. Let me see. Did he put it into the? No, it's not there. Yeah, it doesn't, for some reason. When I try to do it, did he do it? Sometimes he does it, and I don't know.
So it's 56 seconds.
No.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he beats he Jack Reachers this guy.
Are we sure this is real? Like this isn't from a movie or something?
I mean, TMZ's posting it. I think they would have known right away if it wasn't a thing. But apparently, he was driving the.
What's he wearing?
Oh, he said the video's in the article. Let's see if I can do that.
Look at him.
So I'm gonna try to play it for everybody.
I mean, he doesn't really beat the shit out of this guy. It's just a couple of.
Starts with it. It starts with it. Well, I don't care what he's beating the shit out. You don't want him hitting you.
No, you don't. 100%.
So
yeah.
Let me play this. Wait, that's
okay. You playing it? Okay.
I'm going to in a second here. This is the news story. I don't know why this is doing this now.
I'm sorry I was late. Can't you just put
this is what I'm seeing now. I have the news story up, and this is what I'm seeing.
Can you put this up? Like Winston does sometimes sharing stuff. Can you put that up there?
I don't know why. I got rid of you. Hold on, I'll get rid of you. All right. So Reacher star Alan Ritchson allegedly beats up the neighbor in leaked video. Police are investigating. Alan Ritchson might be under police investigation after a service of the actor allegedly assaulting a neighbor. TMZ is now reporting sources close to him that he said he did not instigate the fight. Instead, he was pushed off his bike twice by the man, leading him to fall off his motorcycle and suffering cuts and bruises, as well as minor injury. The alleged attack seen in the video below was reportedly in response to that, suggesting this was a case of self-defense on the Reacher star part. No arrests have been made as of this latest update. Alan Ritchson put himself, yada, yada, yada. Let's see where the video is. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Let's see if we can see it here. Work? So if you can see it, I have no idea, but you just see him. And right there, it kind of starts with him, the big right hand there, and then a left and a right and a left. I don't know who you're talking about, John. I'm not beating the shit out of him. He's beating the shit out of that guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've gotten punched worse.
Hit him sure, but hit him with a left, then a right, then a left, and he just like, okay, I'm gonna stop beating you up now.
Yeah.
So people said he can't see it. I don't know. Fuck this video. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. I hate it. It's like this guy shows up right on time, so I can't get anything in.
Oh, don't even. Come on.
Luke hasn't been able to put the video in there. He said it's in the article. I show the article, it doesn't do shit. So I don't give a fuck.
Can't you click on if I share something with you or no? Like if I
did it,
doesn't Winston do this?
If I show this right now again, I'll show one more time. Let me see if I can. I guess when I brought it up, I'll bring it up, see if I can go down, because you see this here, right?
There it is.
Now, that's what it is. I got to bring this up.
Yeah. Click. Can't you hit the play button on that?
I just got to do. The problem is that I got to get a shareable link, and I think it's right here. Hold on. Okay. And we can. You should be able to get it once I bring it up. Okay, you should see this now, right?
PLD thinks PLD. You're not. Neither of those guys are big enough.
Do you see this now? Is it now?
Okay. Yeah. You can see it. Play it.
Okay. So here we go. So here's right hand.
Okay.
Left hand. Right hand. Left hand.
That's it, though. That's not much. That's nothing.
But wait a minute.
Come on.
It starts with the right hand.
Yeah, I got you.
Who knows how many shots he threw before that right hand? The guy's on the floor.
But the fact this guy can still get up, I mean, that's a bad look on Rich.
Right hand.
You got to finish him off.
Dude, the uppercut brought him to his knees. Look. This
down. He's just covering up.
Wait. Boom. That one brings him down.
I've seen CM Punk take worse. Come on now.
He's crawling. This guy's crawling. Look at him.
But look,
He's
he
like,
gets
"Stop
up
hitting me in
quickly.
the head."
I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
but he's not. He's wobbly. He's wobbly. But
Three.
to Ritchson's defense, though, he said the guy tossed him off his bike a few times.
Yeah,
The bike's
yeah.
on the floor.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
Yeah.
We don't see what's going on there. We see, he gets back up. Now, clearly, oh shit.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
Going on
Pulls
with
it
the
off
bike.
the road.
Something was
What's
going
this
on.
guy
with the bike.
doing? What's this guy doing?
I
Is
don't know.
he picking up his stuff?
I guess he was, from what they say, he was getting pissed off that Ritchson was riding around because there's 2 kids on the bike right
Are
there.
they his kids?
I guess.
Or are they friends?
I don't know who they are. I assume that I don't know who they are, but you can't really hear what's being said. So it's not, it's he said at this point.
I don't know, man. This is a weird situation because first of all, he didn't take care of the guy. The guy is talking shit to him afterwards.
Still.
That's a bad move. If you're Alan Ritchson, you should be able to take this guy out.
I know, but it's probably better that he didn't.
I guess because
It's
sue him
probably
for
better
so
than
much
he did,
more.
because
Yeah.
that the uppercut kind of he made him wobbly, but I think maybe he realized after that, cut it out.
My boy got up though, man. I don't know.
He got up. But yeah, it's not good. Who knows? Even if he was tossing him around and Richardson there's no winning on a situation like that for him.
Yeah.
There's lawsuits. This is a lawsuit no matter what.
Maybe. I mean, because if he got pushed off the bike and there's video, because who's videotaping that? Have they cut off
the
video? Where's the video of him getting pulled off the bike? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta. That's the footage we gotta see.
Right. But people are like this, man. People like this in neighborhoods. Like they get so like, you're making too much noise riding a bike around. It irritates me in my house. And it's like, bitch, it's a free country. Shut up.
The other thing that I'm getting, I really think the poor guy needs help is Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
You see him screaming in Italy now?
Shia, we need to get him with a therapist, like a team of therapists.
Yeah, because he's like, this is not a thing anymore where it's just like a guy who's like, oh, he's like, this is going on with the poor guy. I know he's gone through his shit. I know that I know he did shit that is really bad. And I know. But on the human level of it too, he's not right. Screaming screaming at this lady, and then after screaming at the lady, he's running up and down the street screaming. He's something going on with him.
Remember this happened with Martin Lawrence? Remember he went like nuts and was running around
very
LA in his underwear and robe.
Great call. Very similar situation. And then the same thing, like it's like a lot of shit that was going on with him that you're like, oh man, that's bad. So he's running around with Martin Lawrence was running around with a pistol or whatever it was in the middle of the street.
Yes, exactly.
All that. So it's anyway, so all this stuff is going on, and then we opened up with the celebrity mayhem is basically what it is.
It's the truth of the thing. People like, it'd be great to be famous. Oh, y'all have no idea what it comes with. You all have no idea the kind of madness it comes with. And very, very few people are able to navigate fame at that level, especially with Shia, as you said, the stuff with his dad. There's a lot of trauma he hasn't addressed.
Sure. I mean, and I don't disagree. Someone said Shia's done some bad stuff. 100%.
Sure.
100%. And I think that, that, like I said, that there are a lot of people who have done some things too that, and I don't know the man. I don't know him. I just feel like what you're seeing there is this is someone who needs help.
Yes. 100%.
So it's supposed because you could still say, hey, he did bad things. So what does that mean? Just take him out?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, you got friends and families, do something, step in. But
yeah, I remember when we had to step in for PLD. Remember he was running around just his underwear down there in Houston during the live show. It was crazy. It
was last night.
His little zits and hairy ass coming out there. It was unsettling. It was very unsettling. And we had to get him some help. We had to put him under. It's a shame.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Now he wouldn't be the man he is now. Well, quote unquote man he is now if it wasn't for our help.
For everything that you did for him. It was all you. 100%.
That's why he's mad at me, because he knows I helped him and he hates that it was the outlaw and not one of his little action army buddies that helped him out, because they didn't give a fuck.
He was a Chaperone fan.
He's a big Chaperone.
He got sent away. He showed up with a diaper. I was like, what do you expect?
That's what's unsettled me. You're a grown man wearing a diaper.
PLD's like, why are you taking shots at me now? It's
What's wrong with you?
Only because it was the bit. That was it.
Him and Jake walking around with their underwear. Or Saul, him and Saul rather walking around with their underwear.
All right, let's get into the actual show itself. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot.
Let's do it.
And Project Hail Mary crushed.
Woo! What a movie, buddy. What a
really
movie,
good.
Buddy.
Did really good. And people are, and it's it's one of these movies that You see a couple people who are like, overrated. You see that, but like for the most part, most people are saying this thing, it lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
For the people who are checking it out, and it's crushing, and it already did big box office for March, 141 mil thus far in a global start for Project Hail Mary, which again is a really big number overall, not only because it's one of the biggest ones in March for a non-IP movie or non-franchise movie, it's also a very long movie.
Yeah.
And to keep people in the theater for that long, that many people wanted to watch it. That's like Oppenheimer stuff.
Yeah.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller's Project Hail Mary saw a drop of just 18% on Saturday, pushing its domestic opening weekend up to 80.6 million. 80 million for that movie domestically is a big and I don't think the drop off is going to be that big in week 2. We'll discuss that in just a second. The Ryan Gosling-led space feature additionally pulled in further 60 million overseas, pushing the title up to 141 million worldwide opening. Easily the best of the year, the biggest debut for an Amazon MGM Studios feature. And it is Amazon, that's right. The best opening for a non-franchise movie in March, and the second best domestic start for a non-franchise movie after Oppenheimer. It's also the best opening for Lord and Miller's directors, and Gosling's second best worldwide behind only Barbie at 162. The 4-hour, and I would say that this is probably Gosling's best. I mean, it is his first best lead because he wasn't really the lead in Barbie. Barbie. He was the lead of this movie, so this is his biggest movie.
Agreed.
4-hour movie, Durandar, the Revenge, and horror movie Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, are taking second and third domestically with 9.5 million and 9.1 respectively. Latter is seen as a disappointing number, with many either not keen on a sequel or happy to wait for it to hit streaming. That could also be seen overseas, where it pulled in just 2.8. Let me bring in the actual, and John might like to do this, look at the actual numbers.
Yeah.
As they are right now. Project Hail Mary at 80 mil. Where's the total gross? Where is it? There is it. It's 80 mil there. 140 for worldwide. Hopper's coming in at 2 again. That makes all the sense in the world. If you want to take, we want to take the kids to the theater this weekend. 242 so far. It looks like it's coming back. Because what did we say it cost to make?
I think it's 80. Hold on, I'm looking at it right now.
That's what we said last time.
120, 150.
Okay, so it's still got some work to do, but still not.
18. That's not bad.
That's not bad for this. As we said, Durandar, the Revenge coming back in, making some big money. I've never seen the first one, so I might do a reaction to that with Chris Carr. I'm not sure. Have you seen the first one?
No, I don't even know what this is.
It's an Indian-based movie.
Oh, okay. Right on.
13.5. And then Ready or Not 2, I just watched the original the other day for the first time. And I could have, and I'm telling you, it's amazing how the numbers on reactions and reviews and out of the theater will give you an inkling on how movies will do.
Yeah.
It really does. Because, like, for example, my out of the theater for Project Hail Mary, which I thought would do okay, did like 140. Right? And I'm like, whoa, people are really interested in this movie. And then I'm like, oh, Ready or Not, people loved this movie. I've never seen it before. Barely 5,000 for the reaction. I said, oh, maybe people don't really care as much for me doing it, or maybe they don't care about the movie. And it looks like they don't really care that much about the movie. 9 million.
I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was I did. I saw it yesterday afternoon. I put my review up later today, and I just was like, this is good. It's not great. And it's not as good as the first movie, which was really magic.
I like the first movie. Yeah. I just want, and she was, and I don't even know what the hell they could have done for a sequel. I didn't know how they could do a sequel, but I watched the trailer or anything too, but I'll watch that when it hits digital. But I did like that first movie.
Yeah, she's great. Samara is great. I don't know what the issue is about getting her into some of these franchises, because she is damn good, especially in this film, even better than the first film. I thought her performance was really incredible, because they give her Catherine Newton as her sister, and then they bring in all these next level, that she's going to the next level of this whole game. Yeah. And so
what was the Rotten Tomatoes score on that one?
I don't know. It's probably 70 something.
Okay.
I think it's about 70 something.
Yeah, because the first one, like I said, I didn't even know when the first one came out. I saw it was like 2019 or something. I couldn't believe it was that long. 75%
on the Rotten.
Okay, for two, that's not too bad. But I mean, well, it didn't really carry over though into the
this is going to be a Megan 2.0 situation where it's not going to make that money.
Well, and then you get, so Project Hail Mary is obviously the story, and I think The drop off is not going to be. I don't think it's going to be big in week 2 because the hype around it is huge. Everyone who is seeing it, whether it's people in this space, whether it's people who just wanted to go see a movie, like, wow, it was a great movie, telling other people you should go see this in the theater.
Yeah.
IMAX is just such a magical experience to watch it in, and there's nothing coming out this week to combat it.
Yeah.
The next really big movie is Super Mario Galaxy, which isn't until April 1st.
Right. I got that screener next Monday, so I'm looking forward.
Oh,
to it.
yeah, right. Me too. That's the 30th,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 30th. Yeah.
Same. So I'm going to see that on the 30th, which is interesting because it's only the 2 days before it comes out, which doesn't necessarily mean, because sometimes when they put a screening out right before, you're like, uh-oh, what's that say? This is different because the movie comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So like if they screen it on Monday and and then you see it on Wednesday, if it was normally be coming out on Friday so it's only 3 or 4 days beforehand. So I don't really say. Plus the fact Super Mario Galaxy doesn't need the critics' endorsement for anything.
At all. Critics tore apart the first one, which I liked, and it made well over $1 billion.
Easy.
So yeah,
Easy.
It's critics proof for sure.
So I would say that, I mean, nothing else is going to touch this thing.
No.
Yeah. Drop off's going to be what? 50,
you know how you talk
40%?
about animated films or kids films doing really well? This is like a kids film for adults. And I think that's why people are going to come back and see it, because
you feel good.
Yeah, it makes you feel good. It's a positive take on humanity. Yeah. And the interactions are really the selling point with him and Rocky. So yeah, it's such a feel good film, and it's well done.
Really, and it's kind of needed right now.
Yes, 100%.
I'll tell you, because I was watching something with my wife the other day, and because I was watching the Steve Carell show, which I like, Rooster.
Yeah.
We were watching that, and then we watch Saturday Night Live, whatever. And then we're looking around, and we see, before we started watching, like, let's watch something, and the Nicole Kidman show pops up.
Oh, Scarpetta.
And it looks like kind of like a Mayor of Eastwick type thing. But it's again a serial killer or something. I'm like, I know. It's too dark. I don't want to see that shit again. It could be probably really good. It's based off a really best-selling book.
I know.
Everything's so damn dark, and I'm like, and we're like, nah. And then you turn the news on, and everything is dark. It's like very Nightcrawler-esque every day. That's how they have to sell everything. Local news, same shit. Somebody gets drunk driver killed. This, then I'm like, just give me something positive. Rooster is a good experience. So there was no new episode of Saturday Night Live. We're going to try to watch that. And then but Project Hail Mary is a good feel-good movie. It's one that I'll tell her to watch, like when it's on. We'll go check that out. That's a good one to watch.
I'm with you. I'm taking the Lady Outlaw on Friday because she doesn't like movies. That's not her thing. Like very rare movies that she'll like. But I showed her the trailer for this one and she was interested. So I was like, okay, I'll take you Friday IMAX. We'll go see it. Because I want to wait till the crowds died down, because it was sold out all over San Diego over the weekend. Like really sold out. I was shocked. So I can't wait to see it.
Hold on a second. I just got something. You know what? Let me do this. What do you guys think about, in general, the movie, how it's going to do? What's the drop off going to be? Put your thoughts in there, please, and let us know. All right. We'll be right back to tell you about Square. We got some more stories to cover. Here's Square. Support for today's show comes from Square. They got big news. During Square's biannual releases event, they launched a wave of innovative new tools to help local businesses run faster, smarter, and more profitably. From AI that answers your toughest business questions to tech that simplifies food orders and tracks every dollar, it's all live. It's all built for business like yours, whether you're starting fresh or scaling fast. Square helps you keep up and get ahead. I've been spending a lot of time in the city lately, and I'm walking around. There's a couple places. There's one particular food truck that I notice uses Square. And I'll tell you, the thing about it is you can just see that it was so much quicker. I got a receipt. There's one right outside the Regal that they use, this food truck, and it just feels smooth. It feels modern, and people are in and out, and people are happy. Right now, listeners get up to $200 off of Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/Christian. That's SQUARE.com/go/Christian. You got to visit Square, get started, because the right tools make all the difference. Square. Thank you to Square, and thank you guys for being a part of it. You guys know, if you want to help out the show and you want to check out what we're doing here and you want to keep us going, you click on those links. You get yourself something great in the process. We try to get you guys the best. And that's why we have someone like Square on the show here today. All right, we're going to move forward. I know that they just had a Moana live action trailer that just dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Two reasons I'm not doing a live reaction. One, I know you want to probably do it on your channel afterwards. Two, when I did a live reaction for Dune, for some reason they decided to
put a strike.
Almost not a strike, but almost. And it was like I had deleted 2 episodes of the live show last week, one by accident, but one because of the Dune thing. And I'm like, I'm not doing that again. It's like they made it hard. And normally it's like Warner Bros. Pretty good about it normally, but I think it was the music thing that came through.
Oh, yeah.
So I just deleted. I had to delete the trailer reaction from the channel also. And it's like it just between that and the Demon Slayer things, it's getting hard out there for a pimp. Hard out there for a pimp.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Love that movie.
Well, such a good movie. Anyway, but there are other things going on in the world of movie news, and one of those things is John Boyega.
Hey,
he's talking about coming back to Star Wars again. John has been talking about this for quite a while, saying that he's probably going to make a return. And I think you know what it is. Before we even get into this,
please.
I think he very much wanted to come back, and I think Daisy Ridley probably talked to him about it. But then he's all right. What am I coming back to? And I'm like, yeah, we don't know. We don't know. we don't know. We have no idea. We don't know what you come.
Script keeps changing.
We don't know. It's like that movie with Babe Chinoy. Oh, that's not happening. That's public, but it's not happening. Oh, well, what about Ray's own movie? She might get one. Oh, but you're gonna pay her a lot of money? Yeah, but for what? Kinberg's working on some stuff. When's that coming out? We don't know. Oh, was she gonna have a cameo in the Starfighter? Yeah, probably. Are we saying anything? Yeah, we're just denying everything about it. Oh, so what are we? So what can I do? I don't know. Okay. So, here's the story itself, and John Boyega is now revealing the in return, and he's been talking, I guess, with Dave Filoni, is what it looks like. All right. So most Star Wars fans seem to agree that the sequels failed to do right by John Boyega's Finn, but the actor has now revealed that he's discussed the character's future with Dave Filoni. John Boyega's performance in Attack the Block made him a star. It really wasn't that surprising to learn that he got a role in The Force Awakens amid speculation that he might be playing Lando Calrissian's son. The first teaser trailer revealed he was a stormtrooper, which would eventually become a Jedi. Unfortunately, Lucasfilm dropped the ball on Finn, and then some. His story arc disappointed Boyega and Star Wars fans in equal measure. The Last Jedi, for example, separated him from Daisy Ridley's Rey and completely ditched the idea of a stormtrooper potentially being attuned to the Force. The Rise of Skywalker revisited that subplot, but the finale was so crammed full of story and apparent damage control that it never really committed to the idea. The British actor hasn't shed away from sharing his disappointment with his character arc or at times the Star Wars franchise as a whole. However, his stance on this galaxy far, far away has softened in recent years, and Finn may yet find redemption. Appearing at MegaCon Orlando, the actor was asked about potentially reprising the role, prompting one audience member at his panel to shoot "Get Dave Filoni on the phone." To that, Boyega replied, "I have. Filoni has been appointed the president and CCO of Lucasfilm after Kathleen Kennedy's departure. We know Filoni is high on Kinberg's post-Episode 9 trilogy, and it could be there or in a long-delayed Rey movie that Finn finally returns. Let me tell you, Star Wars always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. It's franchise that's so white that a black person existing in it was something. You can always tell it's something when some Star Wars fans try to say, well, we had Lando and we had Samuel L. Jackson. It's like telling me how many cookie chips were in the cookie dough. It's like in there, bro. They're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch the heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much, and they're pandering. He added, referencing the new expected backlash with franchises like Star Wars, cast a black actor in a lead role, other Obi-Wan and the Acolyte. I got a little bit of a pushback on that particular thing. But everything else that he's saying there, I don't disagree with him. We'll have to wait and see what the future holds for Boyega and Finn and future Star Wars projects. If anyone can redeem the creative missteps of the sequel trilogy, although I don't think he's saying necessarily, I don't think he referenced Obi-Wan and Acolyte. I think that's what the comic book movie is saying. So I push back on them because both of those shows, and John will agree to this too, he wasn't a big fan of the Acolyte either. Both Reva and the Acolyte, they weren't written well for both those characters. Many times over for Reva. They did her misservice by doing that when it's like everybody's tuning into that show for Obi-Wan and Vader's story about the redemption thing, and then they put this new character in there. you were doing her a disservice. I think a character outside of it with better writers would have been great, because you look at
100%.
I mean, Diego Luna inside of it's a non-white character, and it was
Right.
a brilliant character the whole way through. And there were tons of characters. I mean, shit, Adria Arjona in there as
Yeah.
well. So I think and where I agree with them 100% is that they haven't been given the roles like in a way that other characters have been able to shine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that that's what it comes down to, more so than anything else. And to have him back would be great, because he's a great actor and he loves the franchise. He's a fan of it. And this is where I know people, anytime you have a criticism now, I saw something where I put a post up where you and I were talking about the length of the Mandalorian. Someone's like, "Why are you so negative about Star Wars now?" It's like, you can still talk about things and have criticisms on it. As I said, if you watch the whole episode, it's like, look, it very well could work out that length is perfect because you're cramming in that many episodes. But putting a 220 movie out on a thing that no one's really that excited about is a risk.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, an air of positivity, this is the right move for Dave Filoni to get on the phone with him and say, look, and who knows what he said or what he didn't say, but you could assume it'd be something like, look, I hear you. I agree with you that we probably didn't handle this the way that we should have. There's a lot that we can do with Finn. There's a lot that we should be able to do. I know you're a fan. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's find a way for him to come back. And if that is indeed the conversation, then good on Filoni for having that conversation, because I think it'll benefit if you can actually have an arc for this guy that isn't him just screaming Rey at the top of his lungs every 33 seconds.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea to bring him back and focus on bringing him back and how you would work him into possibly the Kinberg trilogy. I imagine that's the angle here. But Boyega also needs to take care of himself, right? We can't repeat the same mistakes from the past. He was a young actor in that first trilogy, didn't have a lot of agency, didn't have a lot of like stance to take here in that situation. So if he's going to come back, I think he's got to come back in a way that pleases him, satisfies him, and he's got to get some guarantees about what's going to happen with his character and how they're going to use his character in the trilogy, or else he's got to be really ready to make a stand and refuse to come back, or refuse to come back even for a second or third installment if he doesn't like the way he is used in the first installment. So there's things that I think you've got to explore here as an actor for yourself, because you've made a big deal, as you read that quote out, of how your character was treated as a, quote, black actor in Star Wars. Well, here's your chance to come back on your terms and fight for what you want. Now, remove all of that. I think it's exciting for him to come back. The Finn storyline is so undercooked. If this new trilogy essentially fixes the last trilogy by giving all three of those characters much more to do, much more interesting things to do, I think that could be fun. And I think people have grown in their estimation of Finn and Poe and Rey over the last few years and feel that those characters were hard done by the sequel trilogy, and they'd like them to have an opportunity to do better in a better written trilogy. So
they need better writing, because there's still, and I think rightfully so. Look, that there are people who will automatically see like Rey and go, she's not a good character. I didn't like her. I don't like anything that she's doing, and it doesn't work. And I don't want to see anything with her. And I think that the reason why that is maybe because the writing just wasn't good for a lot of stuff. I happen to like her as a character. I think
I do too.
Character. I think that there were certain things that were shoehorned in there. I don't think Daisy Ridley was the problem at all. I actually think she was shining in a lot of these shit moments. And I think that, there's an opportunity, but I don't know how much trust I have in it, because Kinberg, he's hit or miss. If Kinberg is writing a big old treatment, and then you get somebody to then write that script and then direct those scripts, I'd say you got a shot at doing something interesting.
Yeah.
If he's directing it, I'm nervous.
Yeah, I would be nervous. I'm nervous as well.
Yeah. And I don't know. And I don't think then, people who aren't excited about it, and what do you just want to you just don't want to be excited about it. It's like, well, what are you giving me to be excited about? We don't know.
Yeah, are people really excited for the Kinberg trilogy? That shocks me. Anybody would be excited.
We don't know yet, because we don't have enough detail on it. We don't even know what it's about. We don't know who's in it. We don't know. It seems like it's going to be episodes 10, 11, and 12.
Right.
That's why the Starfighter thing is going to set things up. I don't give a shit what they say about, well, we're making things completely separate. That'd be stupid. They're not even set up. It should be a separate story. It should be something completely different, but you should set up, if you're going to set in that time period, pass the ball.
Right.
And then get me, okay, shit, Starfighter was real good. Wait, what's coming next? Okay, let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, just give it up, because we've said this many times over. If Starfighter doesn't deliver, no one's gonna give a shit about that trilogy. At all.
Yep.
And Star Wars will be in trouble. So
I mean, they're kind of already in trouble, but they'll be in some real trouble if both Mando and Grogu and Starfighter are like underperform and are not well received. Then they're in some, and they'll try to blame it's under Kathleen's regime. This is a new regime, blah blah blah. But that's only going to hold so much water when you blame someone else for your problem.
But him having the conversations with Boyega, bringing him back and having him do that thing. Let's see if they can try to dive into a little bit more of like the monster of the week in a cave type thing and see if they can get past that. But I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys make of it? Think having Boyega come back is a good idea, bad idea? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Okay, listen. This time I was here, I then made an announcement. I said I was going to do Commando 2. I said I would do another Predator. And I said I was going to do King Conan. John Roca did not like this. He did another Twitter. And he said I was going to have a heart attack if I did it.
Yes!
I will not. Stop it.
You're 80 years old, man.
I do not care. He's supposed to be the outlaw, and I whining, and he's saying I cannot do this. What did I tell you? You can always do this, and I will do this, and I am in prepping. And I tell you right now, here you are. Arnold is prepping for King Conan. That's right. Despite John Roca being a turncoat on him as well now.
What the hell?
Turncoat.
I want the man to live.
Turns out that King Conan project that the 78-year-old Arnold teased the other week isn't just a pipe dream. It's real. It's got momentum. Suck it, John Roca.
Yes, please.
National Enquirer reports that the Austrian I was very different, mate. That's a terrible Australian accent. Is currently undergoing intense physical training in preparation for the role, aiming to better improve his physique and really looking like a legendary barbarian / king while keeping an eye on his health.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Schwarzenegger has dealt with several serious heart-related health issues over the year to his family genetics. This has led to multiple open heart surgeries over the past 30 years. He also had a hip replacement and assorted joint issues. While talk of a new Conan project has swirled for many years, it came as a surprise nearly 3 weeks ago when Arnold revealed that Chris McQuarrie had been hired to write and direct the film. At the time, Arnold describes it as thus: "With King Conan is a great old story that Conan was 40 years as king, and now he gets forced out of the kingdom, and there's conflict, of course. But somehow he comes back, and there's all kinds of madness and violence and magic and creatures and stuff like that." Schwarzenegger has appeared in films in 2019's Terminator's Dark Fate, though did recently film the Christmas action comedy The Man with the Bag, due out later this year. What do you think? You still think that this is a bad movie? This for King Conan, though, you just be sitting on the throne. Unlike me, sitting on the throne after burrito or such.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Look, he's 78 years old, for God's sakes. And
what?
they said he had serious heart-related issues. Several of them have been addressed and had surgeries and replaced a hip. I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm being a realist. And at 78 years old, it's tough. He can say all he wants. He's a great marketer. Arnold has always marketed his movies, no matter how much they sucked or were good. He's always marketed them the same. So I'm not surprised he's talking about getting in shape and he's probably going to parlay this into a thing like what to appeal to people 75 or over, create a whole new workout program, make a whole lot of money out of that, which is smart. You know, I love that guy. But like, I think this is all just propaganda and hype. I don't think we're going to see him do much in that movie, and I'd be surprised because he was struggling in Dark Fate, for God's sake.
I think you're wrong, and I'll tell you why. Another reason why.
Somebody like Clint Eastwood's 98. Yeah, ask Clint Eastwood to lift a weight at 98 years old.
How about the use of AI? You think that's going to be used in this movie? I think it will be.
Yeah.
I think it will be. I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see a lot more movement that you're not even able to tell that it's Arnold, and he's going to be doing stuff. I think we're going to do a lot more stuff. So I think that will come into play. I can't see Arnold having an issue with it. I don't think that I don't ever hear him talk. It is fine. The Terminator got us once; they will not get us again. You can see him. You can see him. He's not going to do it. I mean,
Harrison Ford broke his leg on the set, bro. I mean, come on.
And he still did it. And he still did it.
Move like you used to. Yeah, but
I know.
People are listing all these people in the chat. And I'm like, yeah, but none of those people are going to be swinging a massive broadsword and being in action sequence.
Well, this is what I'm saying, though. Like, look, here's an example.
Okay.
And they got to make it look good because this was pretty noticeable.
Yes.
Cobra Kai, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Martin Cove was not fighting. He was not fighting. I mean, you see close-ups and he would go like this. But when you cut to a long shot and it's clearly someone else fighting, right? Now, I mean, back in the day, harder to find an Arnold replacement. A little easier now to have someone double up as Arnold as you swinging the sword. And with movie magic and other things, they could potentially make this work. This is the one out of the three of them, the Predator, Commando, and this, that could work with the old king sitting on the throne for as long as he has, doing another adventure, and maybe with some other. And you can also pass off some of the big action to someone else. I mean, get Alan Ritchson off the street, beating the shit out of his neighbors, and have him beat the shit out of some, some monsters and stuff. And then he perfect. Look, I even the joke about that stuff too. That type of stuff, the bad boy stuff that happens.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do when it comes to like back in the day, that kind of shit helps with the overall perception of what people see. And you put Alan Ritchson in there with Arnold, the two of them together, wreck and shop. Does it become a little bit more intriguing to you if it's King Conan plus, another badass warrior kicking ass?
Well, yeah. Is he playing his son? Is he playing someone? Is he playing the guy that usurps his throne?
Right.
That could be interesting because Conan, you've got to have him fight the young guy who comes in and takes over the kingdom. So are you going to have that work where he is the 78-year-old King Conan reclaiming his throne? And by the way, he's not getting younger. So he'll be 79, possibly 80 by the time they start shooting this thing. So
well, in 20 years, they're going to have a 40-year-old him play it.
Yeah, exactly.
No problem. Watch. Hold on a second. Put a young Arnold in the movie, 40 years old Alan Ritchson, make it a 2-hour movie. Do this, and this. Oh, it's done. How long did that take you? 17 minutes.
17 minutes. Done.
Anyway, so we'll see what happens with this one, right? I'm very excited about it. I still wish, besides Escape Plan, I still wish that they would have done because I'm watching. Winston had never seen the Rambo movies before.
Oh yeah.
We just did First Blood and we did Part 2.
Yeah.
And we're about to do Part 3 later on today. And it just made me wish that John Rambo and John Matrix had done a movie together.
Yeah. If their egos hadn't gotten in the way,
back then
they could have been amazing.
What we got Escape Plan and The Expendables.
Yeah. Imagine them in Tango and Cash.
No.
That would have been amazing. As much as I love Kurt Russell in that movie. Yeah.
Originally they wanted because Stallone played Tango, right?
Yes.
So originally they wanted the opposite. They wanted him to play kind of more they wanted to play the Kurt Russell role.
Oh wow.
And then he was like, no, we need to play because that was a different look for Stallone, being the more kind of the more intelligent, not brute one.
Right.
And so I thought it was a good move for him. That's a very underrated movie, by the way.
I agree. It's a fun movie, man. A lot of his stuff in there.
Terry Hatcher in that movie. Oh my goodness.
She's a hottie.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think about him working with Tarantino on this 1930s gangster thing? Have you heard this? The series?
I did hear about it. So look, this is the thing with Quentin Tarantino.
I mean Stallone, by the way, for those who don't know.
I know you do. Tarantino and Stallone. This is the thing with Tarantino. He is saying everything that comes out of his mouth lately is the stupidest thing that you can hear. 100%. Everything between Paul Dano and the Matthew Lillard, whatever it might be. He literally is everything he says. You're like, oh, what did he say now? It will have no impact on anything he does.
Yeah.
Because he's that good. He's
fair. Yeah.
He's that good. And there are other things that he does and other things like when for some reason, anytime he's on a panel with black actors, he starts trying to pretend that he's black and the way that he's talking, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It will have no impact on his movies. If you tell me that he's doing a 1930s thing with Stallone, movie, show, I'm in. Because what was the last movie not comment that he made,
Okay.
because the answer of this is many. If I said how many comments has he made that has disappointed you, you probably list off about 1,000 within 10 seconds.
Sure.
If I asked you to tell me when was the last time he disappointed you in the theater,
There isn't. All of those movies have been great. Even Grindhouse. I even liked Grindhouse. So yeah,
Right.
I agree. He's never let me down. Never let me down. And Jackie Brown is my least favorite of all of them for my own reasons, but like it's still an incredible film. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't disagree with you.
So I'm down. And watching him with Tarantino and watching him with Stallone. I mean, look, Stallone has proven, like, Stallone's got chops. Stallone had chops back in First Blood. That was the same thing that Winston was saying. He's like, he think he had this in him. It's like, of course he did.
Yeah, it's always
he's a
weird.
good actor.
Isn't it always weird when people discover that Stallone can actually act?
Yes.
Like they're so used to seeing like these other films. Like, oh man, I'll show you this
Copland.
motherfucker can really act. Copland is great.
Great in that movie. And
you blew it.
You blew it, Freddie. So it is to have him working with. He's gotten better and better and better. He's different because he's not too far away from what Arnold is.
No,
and you're not worried about him.
No, because they don't give him a lot to. I watched Tulsa King. He rarely has any action.
He throws that big punch and then he steps back.
Yeah, and then he steps back, and everyone else, the young people, can take over. Yeah.
But he knows his limits.
Yes, he does.
That's the question: is does Arnold know his limits? And I think Stallone does. And to see what he's, the answer is, what do I think about it? Sign me up all day long to watch that. I don't, anytime I see an article with Tarantino now, I go, oh no, what do he do now? But then when I see that it's Stallone and they're doing a project, those are the kind of Tarantino stories I love.
Yeah.
Love those stories. It's kooky, man. Kooky.
Just don't do Oscar. Just don't do Oscar.
Or do it. If he's doing it, like, again, like you said, he doesn't let you down. And as far as movies go, as far as entertainment goes, he knows how to entertain. So let's see what he does overall. Now, I'm not saying that his comments and other things, like, again, like Paul Dano and Matthew Lillard are going to be seeing that movie, or maybe they will. That's the kind of power he's got.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, so what do you guys think overall about all this stuff that we just talked about? Put your thoughts in. Let us know. You got something else, John?
Well, good point. Someone said, how long ago was John Rambo, the last film?
The last one must have been like, I'm going to guess the last one that just came out. I'm going to tell you that was 2019.
Because he's 79.
Yeah. So that was probably,
and he looked good in John Rambo.
So he's probably in early 70s when he did that one.
I also think Stallone took care of himself better than Arnold did. And doesn't have the heart. You never hear about the heart issues with Stallone.
Not in the same way, no.
Yeah. So I wonder, because that was
2019.
Yeah, right. Well,
did you see within even watching from Rocky 3 to Rocky 4? It's like, you're a second, you're like, oh yeah, right. Wait a minute. I can't get
I remember they had a whole news story about him importing,
of course,
drugs from other countries to help him in his regiment, but they didn't say it was steroids.
I'm sure you got a couple tips from Hogan back in the 80 in the Thunderlips day. Either way. All right. Hey, did we hit 300 yet in Discord? Let me know, because we were almost at 300 members already in Discord. Really growing over there. It's a good place, good environment to be. Go and check that out. But I want to know about everything we just discussed, everything we talked about. Put your thoughts in there. John's currently at 26. Pretty good.
26.
26, 27. So we're going to try to get to 100 by the end to see if we can take out Roxy, who Roxy did a thing last week. Was smart. She said she would watch One Piece.
Yeah.
If she got to the top, and she did. And so she watched episode 1. I wonder how many she's watched by the time we get to tomorrow. We'll see. But what can we get? Can we get John to 100? Let's do it. John needs a win.
Come on.
We gotta get John to win. Come on,
guys.
Hook him up. Let's go. So now we're going to get into the last story for now, and we're going to go back to Lord and Miller. And Lord and Miller have revealed there is a live-action Spider-Man offer. They talked about their scrap Flash film, and then they have a Beyond the Spider-Verse update. All stuff that everybody wants to hear. Project Hail Mary directors Lord and Miller have shared new insights into being offered a live-action Spider-Man movie, their scrap takes on the Flash, and Beyond the Spider-Verse. I don't think they've really been talking about Solo too much on this, have they?
Nope. I bet that's something they're not allowed to talk about.
That's what I was gonna say. It seems like it's because you would feel like that would have been all over this, and it seems like it was probably one of the first things that the press was probably told. You can ask anything you want, but no solo questions.
Right.
Lord and Miller have delivered hit after hit in multiple genres, whether it's comedy, animation, science fiction. They are also one of the main creative driving forces behind the Spider-Verse movies, Beyond the Spider-Verse movies. Following a string of failed movies like Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven the Hunter, many fans would like to see. Did they do those? Oh no,
I think they're saying because Sony.
No, I was going to say, wait a minute. Many fans would like to see Lord and Miller take charge of the Sony live-action Spider-Man adjacent projects. It's not hard to see why, after Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Noir is also generating a lot of positive buzz. And Josh Horowitz asked the filmmakers whether they've been approached to helm a live-action Spider-Man adventure. Yes, Miller said. As you know, we love Spider-Man. We're fans of the character. I would say I would long to have the headspace available for another one of those things. They then talked about the Flash. I can guarantee you that Josh, I'm curious to ask Josh about the solo thing because he definitely would ask that question.
Yeah.
And what their vision of the Scarlet Speedster looked like. Miller started by saying they had a very elaborate treatment that we really like. And confirmed it was pretty different from what ended up racing to theaters in 2023. It's a good idea that I'm afraid to not be able to use someday, he noted, declining to share any specific plot details. That's great. That's great. Back to the wall crawler, and talk turned to the long-delayed Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. He said, we are still on schedule for next June. It's going great. Story's coming along. The animation is beautiful. We've ported some interesting stuff over from Project Hail Mary. That's interesting, too. The digital pre-shoot that we did with Greg Fraser, we are doing that methodology for the camera work with DP Alice Brooks, and she's been doing an amazing job. It's revolutionizing how we can get the camera work to be super inventive and natural feeling. Confirming the threequel is the most emotional of the three movies. Things are moving. It's like a spider pretending to be a person. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So when it really comes down to all these projects in general, and this is not going to be a thing because I talked about my intro, and you and I think talked about this briefly. We can bring it up again. I'm so curious to see what stuff they did shoot from Solo. What was there? I would have loved to have seen that movie now after seeing this. That's part one. The also is the if someone wanted to battle me on that, which would be a good way to go, is yes, but you don't know that. And clearly they had handcuffs, right?
Right.
Didn't seem to have the same type of handcuffs with Amazon, so they were able to do what they wanted to do. Plus, they have built up more of a reputation for themselves from 2017 when they were filming Solo to now, almost 10 years later, to where they have more breathing room. But I would have loved to see what they were going to do with the Flash after seeing Project Hail Mary. And now this is a town, this is a business. What have you done for me lately? The thing that they have done for me lately is amazing. It's the talk of everything. So of course you want to see everything they were going to do. So I don't know. What do you make from all this, and what do you think about their comments about the next Spider-Verse?
I think these are very smart comments, right? The Spider-Man stuff, or the Flash stuff especially, because they know that DC's in transition right now. And I think James Gunn and Lord Miller would work really well together. They have a lot of the same sensibilities, humor amidst the serious stakes. So it makes all the sense in the world to not reveal what they were going to do with the Flash movie, because there may be a chance down the road where James Gunn taps them to come back in and do their Flash movie. And coming off, as you said, off Project Hail Mary, people would be incredibly excited for that. I also think they know, like you said, that the town is what have you done for me lately? So they want to get this Spider-Verse movie right. They wrote out all the controversy that came out of that article about the VFX artists and everything like that. They've delayed this with the studio because they want to get it 100% right, because they know this is a great calling card. Project Hail Mary and then Spider-Verse, if that one comes out and is a banger, then they can pretty much write their ticket in any franchise they want. So I think these are all smart comments from them overall. No surprise they didn't talk on the Solo stuff. But I would love for them to take over the Spider-Man franchise. The problem is that you're still going to work for Rothman at Sony. And we saw what Rothman did with that Spider-Man franchise at Sony, and he's terrible at it. And so I don't know that I trust, as you said really well, Kristian, that they would give them the Spider-Man franchise with the hands off. Like, let them create, let them do what they want to do. And so we'll see if they can, because I think that would be amazing. And they'd be the people who would have to choose which Spider-Man they're going with. A Miles Morales, a Peter Parker, are we recasting? And I trust them that they would make the right choices if they were to go live action with it. Yeah.
It kind of is similar where, the Russos kind of cut their teeth in Community, right?
Yes,
And they make
Community.
them over and they cross over, and it's like they could do this other stuff. They did it with Winter Soldier. They did these other things, and that's kind of what Lord and Miller, what they did with the Lego stuff, what they did with 21 Jump Street, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well these guys are going to do a drama now. They're going to do this science fiction. Like, yeah, we're fans of movies. We're just good storytellers are good storytellers. People aren't always just wrapped into one genre. They normally some can get pigeonholed. There's someone can get put there, and then that's it. But that's not the case with these guys. They clearly have a very specific point of view, and I think that's the reason why we didn't see it in Solo, is because you just at the time they weren't probably as trusted. And Kathleen Kennedy is very old school, and it probably just I'd love to get that real story. I'd love to get the real what really went down, because the safe choice is what they did with Ron Howard in that movie. Is like first half of it is messy and not good. The second half's pretty good, but but again, just a very different movie.
I can tell you that I have a friend who's good friends with one of either Lord or Miller. I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to, but they told me that a lot of what had been reported, they told him that a lot of what had been reported in the sheets about the gossip and all that stuff, a lot of it was true.
Like what type of things?
Like, how's it talking about the folding of the socks and all the issues they were having about the comedic sensibilities, and that they didn't get what they were going for, that the Kathleen Kennedy and others didn't get what they were going for. All of that, they were like, they were blown away by how some of these scoopers got this stuff right. Like they knew about this stuff because it was actually what happened behind the scenes. So I agree with you. I'd love for us to get one day one of those, like the MCU book, where they give us the full story about what happened behind that, because it is one of the lost projects. I think all of us would love to.
I think they dodged a bullet.
Yeah, possibly.
I think they dodged a bullet because I don't think. Look, I love Alden Ehrenreich. I think he's great.
Yeah,
I think that he's great. I think that what he did recently in Weapons was amazing.
Yeah.
There's rarely a performance from him that I see and I go, he was terrible. I don't ever. There's no movie I've ever said where he's terrible. He was not the right choice for that role. Now, if that character and Lord Miller were working with him too, so this pertains to them. If that character was not Solo and he didn't have to worry about those things and bringing up and certain mannerisms and and you just gave him a different kind of smuggler, then that would have been a cool story. Overall, you manipulate different things that obviously pertain to Solo's story. You make him this kind of underground, and you show the underground world. But they got so nervous that they had to attach it to, the IP that everybody knew and the character everybody knew. So Lord Miller is still working with him, and probably, I don't know, maybe they got something different out of him. That's a person I'd love to talk to, and find out.
Oh yeah.
What was their approach? How were they asking you to play the character? Was it different?
Yeah, 100% agree with you. That would be a fun conversation to have with Alden Ehrenreich. You probably would never do it on the record, but it would be great, like to catch him at a bar and say, "I'll never tell anybody what really happened here."
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So, what do you think about Lord and Miller, guys? They're the it peeps right now. What are they going to do next? What do you want to see them do next? Do you wish some of these other projects would happen? What are you thinking about when it comes to Spider-Verse stuff? What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Yeah. All right, John, before we get into the questions, clearly 33 right now are getting close. What's going on the channel?
Yeah, listen, the John Roca channel is happening, man. We just dropped a new episode of Geek Buddies yesterday where we did our Project Hail Mary spoiler review. We talked about Dune 3 and Spider-Man 4 trailers that dropped. We also got into that Buffy drama. Battling Vogel is coming from a different point of view. So I always love debating this stuff. So we go at it over that drama on the show as well. But we got Hot Mic coming up later on this week. I'm going to drop my review for Ready or Not 2 later on today. Might go live. We'll see. And we've got Spill the Tequila tomorrow, depending on Winston's schedule, and some more Geek Buddy stuff happening as well, plus reactions and reviews coming up this week. So, yeah, everything happening on the show. Come on over to the channel, for God's sakes. Get us to 50,000 people, 50,000 subscribers. We'd appreciate it. Thank you, Chris.
Do it. And let the English see you do it.
Yeah. Right. Braveheart, baby.
Right. Winston still hasn't seen that either. It's another one. All right, let's get into these questions. And we're going to start from you guys. Let's see where we're going to go.
Yeah.
Let's start with Nathan Drake. Daredevil season 2 comes out tomorrow, and there seems to be zero hype around it, which is interesting because how many have you seen
this? I have not seen any of them. I'm going to watch them today this afternoon. No.
No, you won't be.
Oh, are they done?
I think they expired around an hour ago.
What does that tell you how hyped I was for it, that I didn't even get a chance to watch the screeners or didn't feel motivated to watch the screeners ahead of time? What does that
I've seen episode 1, and I
Okay.
liked it. Look, I like.
Okay.
Did you like Born Again season 1?
I liked parts of season 1. I didn't like all of season 1. Like the first episode,
Yeah.
then a couple episodes on the back end I liked.
It's 8 episodes
Yeah.
total, and look, I know it knows what it wants to be, and I think it plays off of what happened in the first one. It keeps that darker tone, sets off from the events of the first one. Again, the first episode that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I want to see where it's going to continue to go. I messed up on the screener link because I thought that I thought I was getting an email about it, and I had the screeners for a bit, and I just didn't check, and I was like, oh, when I looked, it was too late, and I only got a chance to react to one of them. So whatever, I'll be watching it. I like the show. I dig the show. So as far as but I do agree, it's not a show that everybody is like talking about, like, oh, the new episode's dropping today. I can't imagine. I don't think the reactions will do great, but I still still going to check them out.
Yeah, there's no hype. And I was like commenting on this last week, I think on one of the Geek Buddy shows or Hot Mic shows. I was saying, like, this thing comes out in 8 days and no one is fucking talking about it. Like, no one is talking about it. And Michael was like, yeah, outside of like a billboard in LA, there's not much hype around it, even with the geek friends that they have there. I was like, yeah, that's the truth. It's just not that people aren't that excited. And Disney's done nothing, literally almost, and I mean nothing in comparison to what they did with other shows. Like, and I can stand not hyping it because they thought it was going to be kind of a failure or not that great. This is something they've been hyping for quite some time in the beginning once season 1 was over, and then they've gone radio silent.
Maybe their thought process is, hey, we didn't pump up Wonder Man that much, and it did great for us.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's more that it's a political show this season, and they don't want to walk into that shit. I think because even the creators are saying that season 3 is going to have nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with Kingpin, and so it seems to me like they feel that the series might be, they might be nervous about it.
Seattle KO, fist my bump. It's time to go. Statement, Rocky. Yeah, it's funny watching people who haven't seen the movie not understand a lot of the stuff that's going on. Like there's so many comments of people going, my thought of the movie, and they give thumbs down, and you didn't like it. It's like you didn't see the movie. So it's like it's one of those things, and it's the same thing with Fist My Bump. But there's a lot of memorable stuff. I really do want to see it in IMAX again.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm going on Friday. Yeah.
Johnny Venerable, odds that Luke Skywalker is in Mandalorian Grogu. I'm gonna say 6%.
Okay.
Odds that, I mean, you want to ask me my percentage of what I think he should be? I think 99% he should be in it.
Yeah.
I think he should be in it because, again, it's the same argument that I had. I feel like there was this mandate that came down, and I believe that it did come down from Kathleen Kennedy and not Filoni, that we got to get away from Luke. We got to get away from this stuff. Don't use him anymore. Because I think it was Filoni's idea to bring him into Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
Paying attention to where he would be the guy to find Grogu. So maybe Filoni thought it's time to bring him back. But at the time they made the movie, Kathleen was still in charge. So I don't think he's going to be in it. I do think he should be in it. It doesn't make any sense. And he's the worst Jedi of all time if he doesn't get involved when Thrawn comes back in these other things. If he's not around and he just ignores it, sucks. Then he sucks. Then he officially sucks as a Jedi.
You're suspect.
What's he doing? He's like, oh, I trained the little Yoda thing. Species. I trained him. He didn't want it. So I said, hey. And I told Ahsoka, I said, listen, we're going to see each other again. She goes, maybe, depending on budget. And then he said, well, I decided I'm just going to hang around, and it's my evolution into drinking blue milk. Yeah, so for now, you won't see me for a while. I'm just going to be hanging out in Naboo. My belly's going to get bigger. So good luck with the blue guy. I got nothing to do with you now. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah. Hotel Nerd, question for you. I'm going to relaunch my channel soon, and I was thinking of doing an after show type on Wednesday, weekly, based on your conversations with everyone through the week. Just wanted your blessing first before doing so, out of respect of you and the crew. First of all, it's very kind of you to ask that. And sure, absolutely. If you want to do an after show, I'm always up for that too. And I think you should join the Discord if you haven't done that already, and then let people know that you're doing that, and let other people's kind of ideas and thoughts, help you out. But Wednesday, we're doing the thing with Smets too. We're adding some new things that are coming. He's coming. His first show is actually this Wednesday, and we're going to do some A little bit different of a format on Wednesdays. So that if you're doing it, make sure you check that out before you do your after show. But I love that. I think that's really nice, Hotel Nerd. Thank you.
But yeah, my lawyers will be in touch if you can use my footage.
Perfect. GoPal support. Thank you, GoPal. Johnny Patriza, look at that picture of me, by the way. About doing so good. Lucky they can get copyright on that. Johnny Patriza, Chaperone gives off better than you energy. I mean, from the stuff that I've seen, yeah,
she does.
This is hilarious. This guy, Tommy Lee, Harloff will tell everyone he didn't crop dust Kathleen Kennedy. Roka, would you crop dust Kathleen Kennedy? Do you think she'd like it? I need no thoughts. This guy keeps asking me if I crop dust her. I said no. It's a stupid rumor that someone we know.
Really?
Yeah, not true. Gen X.
Wow.
Good afternoon. Hail Mary was phenomenal. It sure was.
Yeah.
Carlton Rudder, London Calling. What's up? PHM, incredible movie. It really was. Also, love Peaky Blinders film.
Yeah.
Started series like Kristian. I'm from Birmingham, so close to home. Wait, so you watched the movie before you saw the series? Can you do that?
Yeah, you can watch the movie. I mean, I don't know that you'll get the emotional payoff.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to.
But you could watch the movie.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
No way. Did you do that,
that
Carl?
was good.
Yeah. Gen X kid. If I said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times with jazz hands. The fact that we got a sanitized committee approved Han Solo instead of their version is generally one of cinema's great what ifs. Yeah, I know. Would have loved to see how much of their stuff they actually shot, made the movie, what didn't. I don't know. So curious. Shay Markel. Yo, who knew Jack Reacher was a stunt rider? He's got a stunt cage and a 12 bar on his bike. Maybe they got into it because Alan was doing wheelies. I mean, the report was that he was driving up and down on the street and the guy was like, cut it out. And then he I guess when Alan Ritchson was coming by, he grabbed him. You know what I wonder, which you could totally see, but the guy had to stick to his guns. What if he's the guy's this one of these kind of neighbors that just is everybody knows that neighbor who's like the policeman of the block.
Yes.
Right. So what if he was the policeman of the block and he sees this and he doesn't know who this guy is, and the guy's going up and down the street and he's like, get out of here. And then he sees it and he grabs him and then he takes off his helmet and it's Alan Ritchson. You go, oh fuck. But you stick with it. And then you just have Jack Reacher beating the shit out of you, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. It's a story.
Yeah, I guess so. It would be. Yeah, it would be a story for sure.
It's a story. It's like,
I don't see the logic in saying in throwing 3 punches and not knocking the guy out. I just don't see the logic.
Well, I don't think, listen, I don't know how, maybe he was just smacking the guy around and I don't know. And I also wonder, because those kids seem to just be watching it. They don't seem to be emotionally involved.
I wouldn't get involved either.
No, but I mean, if that was your dad.
Oh,
right. The shit take out of him. You'd probably be like, whoa. Right. And but they were just watching the show. They were like, holy shit, Jack Reacher's beating the shit out of somebody. They didn't seem like they were that emotionally involved or caring. They looked like they were like us going, okay, I'm front row to this thing. This is cool.
And the guy jumped up and went back at him and started pointing fingers at him. So it's like, to me, it's like, what was this all about?
I don't know. I'd love to get the real story on it. We're going to get bullshit. We're going to get the same kind of chaperone story. Oh, well, the guy, he was throwing grenades at my tires, so I had to stop and fuck him up. Ellipse 10, thank you. This is huge. Thank you so much. I'm still baffled that Disney didn't realize Luke was the golden goose of the franchise. Generation of fans wanted to embrace Luke at the peak of his powers, and instead Disney moved on from him, and consequently a part of the fan base moved on from Star Wars. I don't think he's wrong. I know I know it's wrong to say because everybody else needs new things. I think that there's a way that you could have pushed Luke in the forefront to lead the movies and hand the baton. And, I thought this, Mark Hamill thought this. Most people thought this, that in the forest, in the end of The Force Awakens, when Rey throws the, when the lightsaber, that Luke was going to catch it.
Yeah.
You don't need Rey to be, at the top of her game in that movie. If Luke would have stepped in and messed up Kylo Ren at the end of that scene and then took her on to be his apprentice in that second movie, and that was the whole movie, was Luke and Rey, and then Luke becomes the Obi-Wan and dies off at the end of the second one the same way, but he's not that curmudgeon nonsense. I think that really could have worked, but a lot of people disagree.
I don't, that's such a beautiful way to do it. I don't understand it because people just had this, or Ryan and his people just had the sensibility that they wanted to make these young people the stars, Kathleen as well. They wanted to make, and I get it. You want to relaunch a franchise, you want them to hang out with new stars, but you gotta give Luke his props to turn him into an angry old man sitting out there bitterly who almost killed his nephew. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I maybe they thought, well, Mark Hamill can't put butts in seats, and like he's not a star, only Luke Skywalker. But you're using him in the star vehicle of Luke Skywalker.
Everybody was looking forward to Luke when he stood up, and there was, Anyway, I agree with you, Ellipsis. Gen X Kid, what do you think their solo would have looked like? More improv, more heart, or just more fun? Wow. If I was a ladybug on the wall that day for the take, it's so hard to say. It's so hard to say because, like I said, we don't know what the handcuffs were. We don't know what their vision was. We don't know what the full story was. I can't even begin to imagine. You know,
well, I think Project Hail Mary is a nice window into what that. I mean, like essentially, Ryan Gosling could play that Han Solo character with his eyes closed, and I know he's going to do that in Starfighter essentially, but you can get a glimpse of what their approach would have been if you watch Project Hail Mary. I get like that feeling when I watch the movie. Yeah, they would have had that mixture of stakes with humor, which is what Star Wars is great at. You know?
It's true. You know, I'm so confused about too because I see a lot of people, even PLD, people are arguing for The Last Jedi. The one thing though, the thing is, like, even there are people who love it, and I wouldn't take it away from those people who love it. But the one thing that I would do, and like, even if I loved the movie, I would say, you know, maybe they should have went with something else because you cannot disagree that it completely drove a wedge into the fan and destroyed the I thought Star Wars was untouchable when it came to the way that I look at the One Piece fandom is the way I used to look at Star Wars fandom. Like, everybody loves Star Wars. There's no hateful fans. There's no hateful fans here. Boom. That movie blew it up. And even if I loved that movie, I'd be like, I wish they didn't make that movie. Like, I never understand people who argue for it, who are just like, oh, well, I loved it. It's like it destroyed the franchise.
Well, I think it's always funny when they're like, well, we get it. You don't get it. You're not smart enough to get what Ryan was going for. It's like, go fuck yourself, you pretentious bastard. Like, the truth is, this is a very easy film to get and easy to what he's going for. We just didn't like it. We didn't like what he did with the character. We didn't like the creative choices he made. And that's fair. You can have your opinion and love it. Let us have our opinion to hate it. And we have a lot of logic behind our arguments, just like you have a lot of logic behind your arguments to support it. So, yeah.
Battery. PHM needs over 600 million to break even. Ludicrous budget. I mean, it's
200, right?
It's so hard to make money now on these big, huge movies like this.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
But remember, I think they do want to make money on this, Kristian. Of course, every studio wants to make money. But I also think they had eyes for this thing being a Oscar contender. So the math changes with something like that.
It does. I mean, look at One Battle.
Yeah, One Battle. Exactly.
That movie lost a lot of money, but it made it up with all the Oscar stuff, obviously.
Exactly.
Legend MM600. If you ride, what was your favorite bike? I love my R6 and both Honda CBR 600s. I had. What did you ride? Me? I wouldn't be here right now if I was riding a bike. I would have crashed it like 87 times because I know that I would have tried to gone too fast, and they're like, no, you can't do that. And then, he got blown up. That's what you've been saying about me. I know. You didn't ride, did you?
I couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. I was very poor growing up.
No, it was funny because I dated a woman who rode motorcycles.
That's hot.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh God, I hope she never asked me to ride one because I'm just going to think things are going to be it's going to be problems. Never happened. Never had
behind her.
No, I would have been. Never. She did actually. Do you want to ride one? I'm like, sure. And it just never came to that. But yeah, that would have been interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What's the next one? Where is it? 45 currently.
Hey,
45.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
All right, Gen X. The Spider-Verse finale got me in a chokehold. Bring the swinging, bring the feels, bring it on. The first one is my favorite. The second one was outstanding. The final could be legendary. I think that the new one is going to make the second one even better.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love the second one, but you're right. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mike Joyce, thoughts on Saturday Night Live UK? I didn't. Where can you see it?
I don't know where you can see it. I think it's on Peacock, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I saw the opening with Tina Fey, which was funny, but because it's on Instagram, I think. Okay. But I did not see the whole show yet.
All right. Let's see. Samaka, 5. Good Monday, fellas. Took my girlfriend to see Project Hail Mary. She absolutely loved it. She doesn't do space movies, and she left crying at the end because it's a good story. It's written well. That's why you make good movies. That's it.
I might talk myself into go see this afternoon again.
You're gonna see it again today.
Maybe it's so good.
Gosling and his ride or die in Hail Mary had me flooded, sniffling, tears, a whole ugly cry buffet 4 times. Round 2 this weekend. So great. Yeah, it's great. It's a great movie. It's the first 5 out of 5 I've given in a very long time.
Yeah. I'm with you. I gave it the same thing. 5 stars out of 5.
Ergo, Project Hail Mary was amazing in IMAX. I loved it. Half the theater was crying. It's a must-see in IMAX. It really is. Only thing I would say is that it felt a little long in certain parts. That's what I said. Do you think this movie will get some Oscar nods? I initially said that about too long, and then I backtracked on it real fast because I couldn't think of what I would cut.
Yeah.
But I initially left it going, yeah, it was a little long. And then I said, well, what part would you cut? And I said, none of it.
Yeah. We did a review yesterday. Michael and Shannon both felt like it was a little long in parts, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I said this in my review. It was propulsive. I was like moving to the next thing. I was so riveted by everything that was happening. I never felt it was long or dragged anywhere. So I don't know what I would cut.
Battery. Boyega script has leaked already. Boyega. Ray. Ergo. The visuals for Project Hail Marys were amazing. Gave me Interstellar vibes. 1000%. Author who wrote the book is the 3rd book out that is also space themed. I hear they're optioning for a movie. Of course they're optioning a movie.
Yeah.
Of course. It'd be stupid idiots not to. I mean, he could sell a book right now on 3 sentences. Or not a movie, not a book, a movie. He could say, look, I have a new thing that I'm gonna okay, great. We're buying the rights to the movie. He's that hot right now. The Martian in this, of course. All right, Motorola. 40 Hours of Thrones, Kristian. I swear, if I hear Drogon being called Drogo one more puking time, I'm not going to do anything. Have a good day. You don't watch any of my stuff to get names pronounced correctly. That's not what I do. Me and JT have a contest. But no. Speaking of which, so funny.
How's that Munchkin? Where is he?
I don't know. He's doing all right for himself, actually. I shouldn't say that. I spoke to him not too long ago, but I was at the gym today, and I've been going. I realized I really have gotten to a place now where, like, when I first started working out, to be completely honest with you, like the first 2 or 3 months, it was like, okay, go get motivated, do it. Now, like it is like a happy place for me. Right. Like I'm listening to music. I'm in a good spot. I walked in today, and there was this guy that I'd seen at the gym quite often. Right. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Luigi, by the way, was his name. He's amazing. And so I see him, and he reminded me of this guy I went to college with, this guy Paulie, and I always see him and his wife. They're like when you go and you're at the gym, you see like people who are like positive gym people.
Yeah.
They're always talking to people. They're always fist pumping people, giving people positive support and everything too. And I've noticed it, but I've never said anything. Turns out the guy was a fan of the podcast. Right.
Oh.
I see him today, and he again says really nice things to me when he's like, "Show, I've seen your clips, really, really good." And I go, "Look, I also wanted to say to you, I just noticed you and your wife was expressing positivity." He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I've been doing this for a little bit. I was out of shape for a long time, and I get back to it. It's my spot." And it's like, it really is. It's a place that I love being. I really do love being. That's why I try to tell people is initially, I know it's so hard for people. Get back there. But once you go and once you hit past the like 3 or 4 month mark, it just becomes part of what you're doing. It feels good. So I know you've lost a ton of weight through like diet and stuff too, but like, you talked about, are you still thinking about hitting the gym?
Oh yeah. The next thing is the gym for sure. I just got the new Bowflex weights that came out. So I'll be doing them here at the house. Like I set up my room, I rearranged my room so I can fit the step machine that I got and the weights in here comfortably and watch stuff on my TV while I'm doing that. And I was just reading about Arnold over the weekend. We talked about Arnold earlier, but they asked him, I can't remember what he was on some podcast and asked like, how do you keep working out? How do you keep doing it at such a fast age? Right. Yeah. And he said, I just wake up in the morning and I go right in there. I brush my teeth and go right. I don't look at my phone.
I don't even think
check
about
my email.
I don't myself out of it. Yeah. Right.
So by the time I wake up, I'm already in the gym. So I might as well work out. And it's like,
funny because I'm so, because I understood that. I remember like when I would go in the beginning, like, and as far as I was getting intimidated by certain like exercises, and I'm like, oh man, I might not go today. Now I get antsy if I don't go. Right. Like it's just mentally, I come up with, I feel better for the rest of the day and all that.
I used to be a gym rat. Like crazy all the time in LA, but like Ever since we moved to San Diego, I got soft, got comfortable. I put on that weight. Now that I lost this, like, okay, I'm kind of honest to be vulnerable. Like, I get scared sometimes. Go back and be like, people are gonna make fun of me. I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna look stupid. You'll give me weird looks, you know. So I get worried about. Plus, we're in a military area where we live now, and so it's like, well, these guys were in massive shape. I think they look at me like this doughy bitch trying to do something. Like, so, you know, even though I've lost weight, I'm still kind of soft on the edges. So it's like, well, how do I get back into it? And it's like, all right, I'm just gonna have to, you know, kind of swallow my pride and get in there. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I mean, that's all it is, dude. Like, again, for like once you get into that routine, but again, it was nice to this guy and like I said, him and his wife, they're really positive people at the gym, and I like
that's great.
That.
Those are important people to have. Those are important.
Nice guy, really nice guy, and he was just you know, total New York guy, which I love about it. Total New York guy. He's awesome. Anyway, so let's go to the next one here, and that is wait, sorry, we'll go back to that one. Sorry, we have that. Monica, yes, saw Project Hail Mary in IMAX on Saturday. Well, that movie is stunning. Read the book; they did a pretty good job adapting it. Looking forward to a second watch. I think that's another thing, though. By the way, is that I think more people are going to be checking this movie out a second, a third time. You know,
I agree. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it. I might go today, then I'm gonna take her on Friday because it's a rewatchable movie for sure. You can feel that.
Christopher Brickner, I know you called Kinberg hit or miss as a writer. I think that's too generous. As to 11 films he wrote, only three are somewhat well reviewed. Though, to be frank, some of those films had troubled productions. Yeah, and I mean more so hit or miss when it comes to like producing as well, too, right? Because what in the Star Wars aspect of it, he's been involved in Star Wars for a very long time. Him and Filoni came up with Rebels, and they did Rebels together. He was circling. I remember when I knew for a fact he was going to be doing the Tales of a Bounty Hunter Boba Fett side. And I asked him about it when it was him and Filoni. I interviewed him and Filoni for Rebels in like 2014.
Right.
He looked.
Remember that?
He looked like I had just stolen his wallet. He couldn't believe that I knew that. And I was like, he's like, you know, I'm a big fan of that. So he couldn't believe it. He knew somehow I had like Varys's little birds talking to me. And so he knows Star Wars. He cares about Star Wars. He likes the stories. It's just sometimes like he falls into that trap of the Hollywood writing thing. All the time. Mike Joyce, have you ever had Casey's breakfast pizza? Yum. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No, I have no idea what Casey's breakfast.
I don't know what it is. Tell me. Michael D, your Aussie accent was decent, Christian. Thumbs. Thank you, Michael D. I appreciate that.
I put a thumbs down. Thumbs up.
Yeah, but give me a thumbs down from Project Hail Mary.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Andy's a Frankie. I'm really intrigued by Digger. Possible Cruise Oscar nom seeing us. Yeah, it's in Aratu, right? And how an actor is always nominated. Now, 100 movies, maybe Best Picture. Yeah, that's a lot of hype on that one. I mean, I want to see Tom Cruise get away from blockbusters for a second. He's another guy. You know he can act. Yeah. Christopher Brickner. I don't think people have grown to like Ray, Finn, and Poe more over the years. I think people have grown to like the actors more, not the characters.
Bullshit.
I don't know. Bullshit. I think I don't know about bullshit. I think that some people, depending on generation, you might be correct. I think that there's other portions that I think Christopher might be correct. I think that there's not a lot about the characters alone that if you and I were just talking about how Last Jedi just dropped. I mean, completely drops the ball on Finn. And to me, from me, I like the character. I like the actor John Boyega and the potential of what he could do next, more so than I like the character of Finn. So I understand what he's saying there. However, I don't disagree with you that a younger generation that sees these movies for the first time, then that's in the way that an 8-year-old finds the prequels, loves everything about those prequels. David B was on last week and said, like, look, those are my movies. That's what I grew up with. There's an 8-year-old that grew up with these.
That's what I'm saying. And I just don't understand how people can have such such tough understanding of the situation because we're literally repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
This comment could have absolutely be applied if you just replace it with Padme, Anakin, and whoever else you want to make as a third in that over the year. Like, people did not like those characters coming out of the prequel trilogy. I'm telling you, I was there and an adult, and there were a lot of people that hated that prequel trilogy and those characters. what brought them back was the love
Younger
for the
generation.
actors. You're right. But they eventually, and Clone Wars, that changed everything and people felt feelings for them. But the young generation that now is all
Yeah.
about the prequel trilogy and love the
They grew up
prequel
with it.
trilogy and redemption for the prequel trilogy are shitting on the younger generation that loves the sequel trilogy. It's like, how you have such a loss of self-awareness? The same thing is happening again.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people dressed as Rey and Finn and Poe out in the parks.
I think it's the younger generation. I think again,
Yes.
yeah, you agree, but I think I think that they do have to. I think everyone agrees they need better written stuff because the characters for me,
Yeah.
as I think that they had potential. I don't think they ever filled their potential. Johnny Patrizia, do we know if this is the last Spider-Verse movie? That's what they say.
I would imagine so. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think the last one Lord Miller do.
Right, and it especially takes too long to make them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Mad at the movie. What's up, Matt? I really want to see Sony in Disney adapt the Clone Saga for the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy, especially if the Jackal shows up. You mean this is like a new trilogy? Is this a new trilogy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if they're doing a new trilogy with Tom Holland necessarily, but yeah, I don't know, man. The Jackal and the clone stuff, that's, like you say clone and people have PTSD right now. I don't know if you want to go clone. And the Jackal is such a deep cut. I don't know they necessarily want to go that route, but I appreciate you want to see that. I just don't know that they will.
All right. So Andy's a Franksy. Sam crying happy tears, the Sansa and John reunion. So what episode does that happen in? Because are you saying that because that's what you want to see? Because that's literally what happens when she sees it. We wrapped up season 6.
Okay.
We haven't aired that yet. We just aired episode 1 and 2 today. And then tomorrow we're going to air on Tuesday and Friday of this week. And I'm hoping to get Sam's schedule's been all over the place, but I'm hoping to wrap season 7 this week. That's my goal, is to record all of it. But yeah, she definitely was very excited to see that happen.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello. Renee Reyes. Project Hail Mary is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time in the theater. It makes me wish we got the Solo movie. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. 100%.
Christopher Brickner, I get Lucasfilm trying to salvage the characters from the sequels. Lucasfilm should be ready to admit if the characters still are resonating. That is a great point. If they get good written material, right?
Yeah.
People still don't care, then that's a problem.
I'm very confused that people say that nobody cares about these characters, and each one of those mother effing movies made $1 billion. So what the F are we talking about? Like, I think within the bubble of your fandom, sure, but the outside world went to see these films.
Sure, but the argument could be that
multiple
it was
times.
diminishing returns, all 3 movies.
Sure, but they still made $1 billion each.
Yeah,
so this idea that
improvements,
it's not resonating, I think, is a bit nonsense. Maybe within the fandom, but outer world,
right? I think it just proves the point that they had potential, and then again, where it's like, okay, we're okay. You set us up great. Force Awakens. What's next?
Yeah,
that's where you're going. Really, I don't know if I like the characters as much. Oh, and then that's where you're going. I don't really like these characters. You could see that it was like, oh, that because you're already invested in it. So that's why you give good written stuff on the next time around, and then you can prove naysayers wrong. If people are like, no one cares about Rey, and then the next one does $1 billion and it's a well-written movie, then what are they going to say? But they'll have a lot to say if it's a terribly written movie again and it bombs and you go, I told you.
Yeah. I see someone saying, what's the IP? Bull crap. Fucking Superman, Batman v Superman shit the bed. Justice League shit the bed. It's not about IP. It's about if it resonates with people and they want to go back and see it over and over again. Just like the Transformers movies. Oh, they suck. They suck. They each made a crap ton of money until the last one.
I hate that you're right about that, but yeah.
And it's true. It's because it resonated with people and they went over and over and over again. You don't make $1 billion unless people are interested in your stuff.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, Jurassic World. Yeah. Great point.
Yeah. Harv's K. Love Project Hail Mary. Without getting into spoilers, do you think that the outcome would have been different had Grace woken up from his coma with his full memory intact? Yes.
It's a completely different movie. Yeah.
Different movie. Completely. Yeah. Karen. Bolden, what's up, Karen? Favorite Chuck Norris movie? Delta Force. Delta Force.
Probably Missing in Action. I love that movie. So, yeah. But Delta Force is fun. That's a fun movie. Hell yeah.
Mike Joyce. Hashtag beat Roca. Oh, whoops, wrong show. That's great. The Little Yankee. Speaking of Solo, are you two interested in Maul's Shadow Lord on 4626? Also, Bomber started a new Quest for 28 this Wednesday in San Francisco. Yes, and they're going to be on Netflix, I think, to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Netflix is just changing the game.
Dude.
Tell us your thoughts about Maul real quick, Roka, as I do something.
Okay. Yeah, the trailers look amazing, don't they, guys? Like, it's a darkness that I'm really surprised to see from Star Wars. I know Andor had elements of that as well, but they don't usually slide that deeply into the darkness in their animated stuff. Sure, there are some Clone Wars episodes that get into some of the darker areas of the mythology, but I'm really surprised at these two trailers, how they've come out and shown the darkness of Maul and what he's going for and what he might be doing with this young apprentice. Is this young apprentice mirroring that character everyone keeps, I think it's Darth Talon, that everyone's making the comparison to? Will she become his Padawan? And also the sequence that they're laying out here, that she is like angry at the Empire, but what if she discovers that the rebellion is just as bad as the Empire? Does she then go, well, both philosophies suck, I'm going to go with someone who is actually going to take care of me, like Maul has done and protected me? And that's how she gets brainwashed to be part of the dark side. So I love what they're teasing. I hope they explore it. But yeah, it looks great. The animation looks great as well.
It's going to take a lot to win me over.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, only because I root for Sam Witwer. I know he's heavily involved in it, and I think that's a good thing. I'm so over this time period in animation. I want to see them explore different things on it. It's the same. Fair. It's the same Clone Wars, Filoni universe thing. It's like, let's go. There are so many other animated stories to tell. Visions has proven that. Let's move on. Go somewhere else. And how many stories can we tell with Maul again? I know where he dies. I know what happens to him. I know the whole thing. I know the lead up to it and to what he does in Rebels, to where it ultimately ends. I know it's like, I just know it. It's like, okay, what is it? And so it's going to take a lot to win me over. But the fact that Witwer is producing this as well, intrigues me, because I want to see his take and his storytelling aspect in this. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Michael D was probably Chappell Roan's security beating up Alan Ritchson.
No, they would have beat up the kids in that.
He wasn't getting beat up, Alan Ritchson. That one. Sherlock 277. Why is that Jonathan Majors is now reduced to doing Ben Shapiro movies, but Lord and Miller can abuse a ton of animators and be heralded as kings? F those two are abusive assholes. Now wait a minute.
Wow.
Here's the thing I don't know though. And the answer could be yes, John. I don't know enough about it.
I will listen to you. Will you go single on this? It's my turn to take a break for a second.
Of course, take a break. Yeah. But I want to know the answer to this question as well. I know that there's accusations. Has all of this been completely proven as factual, that they were the ones who made these moves, that they were the ones that did all this? Have they been proven to be the ones that have been abusing? I know there have been allegations, but have they been proven as the ones that were kind of leading the charge on really taking advantage of these animators? Or is this just and again, Sherlock may very well be right, but sometimes what social media and everything else has done is, oh, well, I heard it on social media, so it's true. They're guilty. John ran away. He didn't hear shit. He just lied to us, guys. Completely lied to us. He said he's listening, and he fucking ran away. Talking to myself. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what he says when he comes back. So that's my question. I guess I can ask the audience that one, whether or not, again, if it's been proven or not. Thanks for running away. In the middle
Sorry. I had 42 ounces of water to dispel.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I always hear you. I have the headphones on always.
Okay, what did you say?
The article came out and then, it really kind of blew the whole thing up, but there were a lot of levels to, and a lot of, how can I say this? A lot of confusion about how much Lord and Miller were actually involved in pushing these animators in a certain way. So you could read that article and certainly come away with that, but there were a lot of people involved in the process, a lot of buffers involved in the process. And so, yes, but like the studio was the one who was really forcing these animators to do this stuff and work on that time schedule. and what have you. Yes, maybe Lord and Miller made some mistakes along the way, but look, I mean, this is a different situation. You can't compare it to the Jonathan Major stuff.
Right.
You
That's what I'm saying. So
you
I
know,
don't.
there's no video of them physically beating up the animators. It's
But
like
that's
it's
why I don't know. Like they one article that came down because they were part of the project and all that other stuff. I
yeah,
don't know what's factual, what's not. So the Sherlock, as much as I appreciate it, I don't know if those two things are the same, even close.
yeah,
Because I don't know the facts of the other stuff. I don't. There was no trial in the way that
right.
the
It
other
really
stuff.
wasn't.
Yeah. Andy's a Franksy. Time waits for no man unless that man is Chuck Norris. That's right. R.I.P. to the internet joke king. You guys have a favorite? Yeah, definitely. Delta Force for sure.
No, I think he's talking about Chuck Norris joke.
Oh, Chuck Norris joke? Oh, I don't know. There's so many great ones over the last like however many years it was. I have to look through them again. I can't remember.
The one where he died, I think, was the best. On the day he died, someone wrote like Chuck Norris didn't die, just someone in heaven needed their ass kicked. And I thought that was a great
It's
one.
really good. Yeah, I mean, great. I will say this. This is the one thing, because again, not to get political, because I don't want to. I thought it was completely bad taste. I think it was Variety that when he passed, the first thing they wrote was that it. I think it was Variety. Don't quote me on it. It might be something, but they wrote Chuck Norris's. I mean, it was maybe an hour after he died. And they said Chuck Norris's legacy could be tainted by his political views. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I saw
What
that.
are you doing? Like, if you want to wait like, a week, 2 weeks, you put a thing out and say, after he's passed, but like an hour after the guy passed, it's not the place.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think they should have waited a bit to kind of explore that, do more of a more of a eulogy type thing or obituary. And then like the next couple of days, you can milk it for a few days. Yeah, I agree. I didn't like a lot of what he said politically for sure, but I still
respect the time or place.
The man. Yeah, the man affected a lot of people's lives. The man did a lot of work, and so it's like you got to balance the two.
Yeah, it wasn't the time. It was Soul Roka. Are you where Kristian is secretly varactyl? Yeah, what varactyl? I guess that's what it is. So I was like a raptor, but I was I was talking about. I saw that they did this in the Discord. It was funny because there's a stupid show that my daughter watches on YouTube, and it's the worst. It's like this Russian dad and his daughter, and they probably have like 68 million subscribers.
Wow,
so stupid. But and he's just like it's, I don't know if it's dubbed over English or whatever it is, but then he's telling her to get an ice cream, and then he goes, and then it's a close up to his face, and he goes, and it's the worst. It's the worst. And my daughter loves torturing us with it. And it's at the absolute worst. So I did one of those noises, and they made it sound like a raptor. So God, I can't stand it. Look it up, guys. It's called Nastia. It is the worst. Maddie B. Kirsten Dunst has been cast in Housemaid 2 as Sweeney. Is that true?
I don't know. I know she was cast in the
first one.
Minecraft movie.
I haven't seen the first one. Oh, okay. Sonic fan. While I get that Chuck Norris had politics that I didn't agree with. Oh, I didn't even see that. I didn't even know somebody had written this. I wish I would have just waited.
Okay.
I think the articles and influencers who made videos about that only. I didn't know there were influencers that did it too. After hours, he passed was a bit much. I couldn't agree more. I don't know. Listen, I'll be honest. I'm not even familiar with some of the stuff he said, and I might disagree with a lot of it. But it's not the time or place. Not the time or place. Yeah. So
everyone is content to content people. Everyone.
Yeah.
And so it's no surprise that they made videos. I mean, listen, if I had done a tribute thing, I'd have talked about it, but I'd have mentioned it near the end, but I surely wouldn't have made it.
Would have been the focus. Right.
Right.
And you just said it. You said, look, he said some things politically, but what he had the impact. I think that's fair to say.
Yes.
There's things like if certain people like, look, there's a lot of stuff that person said that I didn't agree with, but the fact that their career and it's separating the career from the thing. It's like, what are you talking? Did you know him as a human?
Yeah. You got to balance it out. You got to balance it out.
And I actually disagree with them thoroughly that's going to hurt his legacy at all. As far as
people are going to think about that
shit. It was just to do exactly what they just did and get people talking about it.
Right.
Fiona George, I don't know if either of you have seen the Alan Ritchson situation. Apparently, there were sources that came out and said it wasn't him punching that guy.
What?
That wasn't him?
Certainly looked like him.
It looked like him. That wasn't me. I don't know. We got to show me that. Lesty 266. Who's best Dakota? Madam Web. Who's best? Madam Web, Wahlberg, and The Happening. Is I don't know what that means. Who's
best? Dakota in Madam Web or
Wahlberg? Who's better? Dakota is better in Madam Web. She's not terrible in the movie.
I guess.
Wahlberg doesn't know what movie he's in because it's not his fault. But I love hot dogs. Whatever the hell's going on in that movie. That movie is ridiculous all the way around. But she's not bad in it. It's just not a good movie. I think you'd say she's better in that.
I'd say tie.
Okay, fair. Joey Pedras, underrated Lord Miller project is Clone High. I've never seen it.
Clone High is so much fun.
I heard it was
I enjoyed that one.
Never seen it.
I think it was on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix or WB.
Currently, let's see. Paige, thank you for all the years of conversation. Please send positive vibes. My mom is losing her memory. I'm sorry, Paige. I'm really, really, that's rough. I'm sorry to hear that. And yes, positive vibes coming your way.
Absolutely.
Fiona George. So sorry, didn't realize you talked about it already. About which one? Oh, about Alan Ritchson. Yeah. Well, we didn't talk about the fact that it wasn't him. We didn't know that. And I mean, if that's what the case, I mean, again, could be. Battery. Roka just puckers up if AR came at him like that. Yeah, it's true. If Ritchson came up like, what are you going to do if he comes swinging?
You got to stand tall. You got to stand tall and take the hits. That's part of the game.
Yeah.
This guy talks so tough. His dad does not. I mean, I have to remember, when we went on our first day, his dad talked about how much of a disappointment this guy was as a son.
Battery?
It was, yeah. Even while we were doing it in his bedroom, he just kept complaining about the shittiness of his son.
Tom Hiffman, always my favorite show of the week. You and John are the best. Make John pronounce Ted Sarandos for taking shots at baristas.
I keep forgetting it's Sarandos. I always say Sarandos. Sarandos. I know. I keep saying because I want to say it like Spanish. Sarandos. I want to say it like that.
We all have our thing.
Dude, it's true.
Eclipse. I still call her Dupa Lipa. And I think she's gorgeous and very talented, but I still call her Dupes. Eclipse 77. Will Project Hail Mary make $1 billion? No. How much do you think its success will affect people's excitement for Gosling and Star Wars? Question. That's great. That was really good. Very good. So I think it won't make $1 billion. I think it's going to do like 6. And I think that it's not going to change the same way I felt about it before. It'll elevate the fact, Gosling's in a Star Wars movie? That's cool.
Yeah.
Because Gosling is well-liked. I saw a great Instagram thing that popped up where they said it's some guy who noticed like body language and stuff too. And Gosling's on the carpet and he walks up to somebody and he puts his hand out. He goes, look, that's a guy who's confident enough. Like there's people play these games sometimes. They wait for people to put their hands out first, or they grip it and they pull it or they do this. He's like, this is just a guy with confidence who just puts his hand out, confident out there. And he's like, people love Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And he's one, there are certain actors that can just emit cool, right? He does it. Yeah. Brad Pitt did it and didn't do it at first. I remember when he came out cool, well, who's this pretty boy? And then the movie, and then he started doing more movies. People like, and like Brad Pitt, he's cool. And that's what he's done. So I think that's going to help Star Wars, and Star Wars sells it. He comes out, does it, and they'll market it with the director of Deadpool and Wolverine, and it'll do well.
Yeah, agreed.
Beto Power at 71, John. Amaze. Movie gets better and better as the days pass. Can't wait to watch it again. Do you guys think it'll pull Sinners and make it to the Oscars? I do. And I was wrong last year. Because I said with Sinners, I said this is a movie that deserves to be nominated. It deserves to be your recognition, but I think that because it's a vampire movie and because it came out in April, whatever, it's going to get overlooked. And I'm glad I was wrong. I won't say that for this one because you can't overlook this movie and the positive responses that it's getting, the money it's making, you just can't.
I said it in my review. I think this is already a Best Picture Oscar contender, and I don't see 9 better movies coming out the rest of the year that will supplant it, or 10 better movies that will supplant it. I think that's in there. I think we're looking at that, Odyssey, right. Possibly even Doomsday getting into the Best Picture.
Doomsday, not Dune?
Not Dune. Maybe Dune. Yes, Dune as well. So of those 4, I think you can look at the possibility of those 4, and those are mainstream populist films. They're going to try to be mainstream populist films. I think they're going to be in the Best Picture conversation for sure. And I think Gosling is in the Best Actor conversation right now out of this movie for sure.
Could be. You know what I want to see happen, and there's no world that it will happen? I want to see Timothée Chalamet win for Dune 3.
Oh, I would love that.
Wouldn't that be
As a
great?
big F you.
Oh,
I
it'd be
would
so
love
great.
that.
It just won't happen.
And didn't he deserves an Oscar as well, for God's sakes?
Yeah, definitely.
Nonsense.
Buster Barnes. If the rumors are true, Supergirl budget is closer to 100 than 200. That's a great move. I did see that report. I don't know how true that is. Seems unlikely, but Borderlands and Predator Badlands were similar. Now, this is a different conversation.
Okay.
Because to be fair to the movie, if there's rumors of 200 million, and then maybe there's a positive spin rumor about 100 million, whatever it might be, if you look at it, if this movie costs $100 million, then you're in good shape. You're in good shape, because then if it makes $400 million, it's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win. 350, it's a win. So if it is actually $100 million and it's not inflated and it's actually real, you're in good shape. I think that's great and could be a good win for them. The question is what's real and what's not.
Yeah, because these DC budgets, remember, he did the same thing with Superman. Oh, that's not the truth. This is what it was. And then we hear about all this. So, who knows? They're still writing about Superman, whether it made money or not. And so we don't know what the budget is. And the fact that they're floating a lower budget, I wonder where they got their hands on that story. I wonder who gave them that information. And I wonder if this is being done because they're sensing that there isn't as much interest in Supergirl. And if it doesn't perform that well, they can say, well, we only paid $100 million for it. And so we actually made a profit. So I don't know. We'll see.
We will see indeed. All right. Let's see. Next one after that. Andy Zafranksi. Gosling just needs to do horror now. Sure. Why not?
He said he's kind of walked away from all the darker stuff because ever since he became a dad. He said, I just don't want my kids to watch me and stuff like that. And
I love that. Yeah. He's done a lot of it. He's done a lot of darker things. So I like that he's doing positive stuff. And he's got that vibe to him that people want to see him do positive stuff. Night Fox 1190. Andy Weir has mentioned he could be writing a potential sequel to Project Hail Mary. Story-wise, where do you think he could take the sequel and do Lord and Miller direct it? Well, first, I don't want to speculate yet because not everybody has seen it yet. Right. So I don't want to kind of speculate where the sequel goes. But if he could write a sequel to it, then sure, they could absolutely do it. And if Lord and Miller, like the same story and you want to work with him again, then they should absolutely do it. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Why not? I mean, a partnership between a writer and you bring Drew Goddard in to be the writer again, just like you did in The Martian and Project Hail Mary. So you've got a great team there to do a third one. Why not? Make a lot of money. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna read this one and I'm gonna shoot you a text real quick, John. But
what do you think you could take the sequel? That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't want to get to that, unfortunately, but I think okay. Lesty266, shout out to the Discord group. I had a nasty car accident a couple weeks ago. The group really looked out for me and kept me positive. Well, first of all, I'm glad you're doing okay.
Yes.
And that group is great. They're really positive. And I'm so happy that community lives there. It really is a nice place to be.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see.
Maybe I should roll in there and join. Maybe we'll see. Have some fun.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. All right, let's see. Let's go to McCabe. We have a couple more questions coming up here. Sean, been super busy. Really, what's up, Sean? Catching clips here and there when I can. Had no idea about Ready or Not, so thanks for that. Sequel should be fun. All the best, guys. Here's to a baker's dozen. Thank you so much, Sean. Sean, you're the best. Always like hearing from you. I hope everybody's doing well, and I'm glad that you're coming back in.
Yeah.
Nathan Drake. Should they keep Sarah Michelle Gellar if they decide to do another Buffy reboot? This is from Nathan Drake. Again, I don't know going back to what we just said before with Lord Miller. We don't know what the story is, what the real story is, what it is. And so I don't know. I think if you're going to do Buffy reboot, if you're doing a reboot and continuing that story, I think you got to have her in it. But if they're doing a completely new Buffy, then no.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. When you look at it, it's like, well, of course you got to have her in it. She's Buffy. There's no way you can't have her in it. I just think the way this recent thing went down, it's like, well, clearly you need to have everybody on the same page and everybody going in the same direction. And so you can have a better result, which I think can happen down the road for sure.
Sure. Tommy Lee. Fine. I'll now bring up the infamous crop dust of Kathy. You made your point. For my final question about it, does my question bother you because you wish you had missed opportunity? No, nobody deserves that. Tom Hiffman. What's up?
Really? Tomorrow?
Oh, Criterion Flash sale tomorrow and you pick up. So I was like, wait, what happened? Yes.
Oof.
Okay. Is that big news, John?
For me, it is. I love buying the Criterion at half off.
There you go. All right. Well, there you go.
All right.
Fiona George 95. I hope things work out with John Boyega and Star Wars. It's sad how much he got screwed over with those films. Agreed. I think he's going to have a run. I think Roga's been saying it forever. I think he definitely has a part of the. He's been talking for a while, and I think that he'll be in one of these things sooner than later.
Yeah,
that is the benefit, though. It's not one of these things. There's sometimes you're like, oh my god, hurry up! They're getting so old already.
Right.
You can wait 20 years and still put them in movies.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Corn Emperor. I loved Finn, Poe, and Rey in The Force Awakens, but too late for me. I don't know if it's too late for you though. And I'll say, well, it is for me, but you don't know who's right. Look, the Stephen Knight aspect, losing him was big. That was big. Especially after watching just 2 or 3 episodes of Peaky Blinders, I'm like, what are they doing? Why would they let him go? Love 100%. To see his version of that. I am Two Fly Cam. If the sequel characters were popular, the brand of Star Wars wouldn't be declining like it is. Where's the Rey show or Poe show? There's not much interest. I don't think that, but you're essentially saying the same thing that we just said. It's not a matter. Okay, so if the sequel characters were popular, the brand wouldn't be declining. The reason the brand is declining is not because of necessarily just the characters. It's what they were in. It's the writing that those characters were given, because The Force Awakens did great. People loved watching the characters, and people loved watching what was going on. They were interested enough to see what happened in the second one, so there was interest in the characters. It was the declining writing of all that stuff. And to answer your question, where's the Rey show or Poe show? The Rey movie is the Rey show. So instead of giving her a show, they're giving her a movie to see if the interest is still there. So the sequel characters are popular to a certain degree of fan base, but to people like yourself and even to me, I'm like, do we need to do this? Prove us wrong with the writing. So there's interest in some aspect, and there's not in others.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to come back. That's why there's no Rey show and the prequel trilogy left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And so I don't think Star Wars wanted to revisit it. I don't think I think the actors didn't want to come back for a while. That has cooled down, and now there's interest building back up again to see what you can do with these characters. Because I think Star Wars fandom takes a lot of shit through the years, and I get it. Some of it's deserved, some of the toxicity for sure. But Star Wars fandom, they always seem to forget that Star Wars fandom is also very forgiving, very understanding, very much wants to bring people back. Ahmed Best, Anakin, like bringing all of them back, Hayden Christensen, bringing all of them back. They want Natalie Portman back as Amidala in some way. So they want people to come back and have another shot. If Jake was still kind of wanting to do something, I think they would want to bring him back. They want to bring people back and shower them with love.
It's true. But even hearing you say that, though, they may want him to come back all day long. But if you want him to come back come on back. The walls are chipping. Pool hasn't been filled in 6 months. All the food's rotten in the refrigerator, but come on back.
Yeah, well,
we want you back. And it's like, so yes, I don't disagree that they want him back. The problem is, again, it's just the team that's in place right now. It's like, I don't know if I want to go back.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And the thing is, no one's even talked about this. Will Daisy want to come back? Because Kathleen was the one that brokered the deal.
$12 million.
Will Daisy want to come back if Kathleen's not there?
$12 million. She'll come back.
Fair.
That's not going to change. Dust Wayne, the live action trailer for Moana just dropped. It looks decent enough. The music's very good. The Rock doesn't look the best. I didn't like the first thing that we saw, so I don't know. I think it looked too overproduced.
The pictures of The Rock do not look good.
No,
from what I see on Twitter. So I'm going to see when I watch the trailer in context. But right now,
can you text me a picture of it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Johnny Patrizia. Personally, I'd rather see a Cal Kestis TV show. They were talking about it. I know for a fact. They had it. It was a thing.
But how? But again, how many people are going to watch a Cal Kestis TV show? It isn't just
how many people are going to watch an Andor show.
Well, yeah, right. But then again, are you going to compare? I don't think the Andor show. I would love to see what the numbers are for the Andor show versus like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show or something like that.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Rogue One is based on the reason why the argument I would have made, right?
Yeah.
Anyone going, well, wait a minute. You're Cal Kestis. How many people really know about Cal Kestis? Right? Is what the argument would be. Right. Rogue One is $1 billion movie. So you make a character based off $1 billion movie that makes sense. It's not, though. Because look at the numbers of what that video game did, and it probably tripled what Rogue One did.
Yeah.
The video game business in general is way bigger than the movie business. And
sure.
But if you can get that audience that loved Cal Kestis on board and then get other people because it's a good show, that's how you do it. But I think they get scared because of what you're saying, because they probably go into that same thing like, how many people really care?
Also, playing a video game is not the same as dragging your ass to a movie theater. And there's a lot of people who play video games who don't want to go to a movie.
You're 100% right. But that's why it's on a movie theater. It's a TV show.
Yeah, possibly.
Johnny Venerable, time to greenlight the Ben Solo movie ASAP.
Ben Solo? I don't know.
I don't understand the hype behind that movie. He's dead. Let him die. Johnny Venerable, Roka, the sequel trilogy made money largely because of the return of the legacy characters. Han, Leia, then Luke, then Palpatine.
You literally have no way to prove that. Literally no. That's just you just speculating that.
I think The Force Awakens had a lot to do with that.
The Force Awakens, I'll give you Force Awakens, but not the next two movies.
No, I don't disagree with you. The second movie, they proved that they wouldn't give a shit about the legacy characters. So that's kind of one. But
the third movie still made $1 billion.
Yeah, I'll agree with Johnny that The Force Awakens was people were looking for the return of the legacy characters, but the movies after that, no, because they killed off Han in the first one. They kind of sidetracked Leia, and then they did what they did with Luke. But I think the first one, well, I will say to his point,
because that trailer was very focused on the new characters and then Han. Yeah,
right. Sorry. But I think the second movie was like, oh, what kind of Luke are we going to see? So maybe,
the interest of Luke.
Yeah.
So,
Ray
still made $1 billion. So.
Here's to everyone out there with different political views. There you go, Ray.
Absolutely. That's another thing that's great about Project Hail Mary. Two different people from different species who have different agendas.
Yep. I can't
trying to work together.
Who wrote that super chat?
Which one?
This one.
Ray Dominguez.
Who?
Ray who?
You old motherfucker. I sent you the pictures, by the way, if you want to put
Alexander Wilson, Gilroy exposed one big problem with Star Wars. Almost all the projects are about nothing. Yeah, that's true. Boba Fett, Ahsoka. What was the first one? What's ST?
I don't know.
Star Trek. No, ST. I don't know what ST is. Can anyone explain what they're about? None of them have any ideas or themes. I mean, it's true. The Boba Fett and Ahsoka, at least, anyway. Hopefully, the second one is better, but I don't know.
Yeah, Boba's all over the place. Yeah.
Seattle KO, watch both Rental Family and Is This Thing On over the weekend. They're both on Hulu. Great performances from Brendan Fraser, Will Arnett. Yeah, I like both those movies.
Agreed.
Yeah. Paul Hitchcock's most unbelievable thing in the happening is Wahlberg as a teacher. People at the end of it must have watched the dailies. It's such a terrible movie, but it's a funny movie. Frank, what's a movie you hadn't watched in a while? When you watched it, it left you wrecked. Watch Jack over the weekend. And I cried like a baby. Oh man. I mean,
the Robin Williams one. Oh,
yeah. I don't think The Rock looks terrible.
I always forgot that J-Lo's in that movie in Jack. I always forget.
What I don't. I know you don't forget this, but a lot of people won't realize that Francis Ford Coppola directed that movie.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. That's right.
I John sent me a picture of The Rock. I don't think he looks that bad.
Okay.
I don't. Andy Zafranksi, season 2 of Beef, April 16th on Netflix. Season 1 was awesome. I still haven't seen it, but I heard
this is going to be a hell of a next few weeks, brother, man. This Maul, freaking Daredevil, a lot, man.
Haskell, sup, guys? SNL UK debuts on Peacock a day later. It was good, and they're allowed to curse in the UK. Okay, I have to check that out.
Yes, they are.
Also, RP Miss Tessmacher. Oh man, that's great. Miss Tessmacher.
Valerie Perrine was a hottie.
About 4 or 5 left. Yeah, again, respect to Valerie. Hotel Nerd, going to be hard to do Buffy now that Xander died. That's true. Another cast member that
heartbreaking stuff. Yeah. Substance abuse and all of that.
You know, Carlton Rudder, it's like watching Rogue One, then Andor for me. For which one? I'm not sure. For which one? I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
CB The Legend. Guys, are you going to CinemaCon to see Doomsday Trailer? So John is going.
I am, yes.
And are they showing the trailer?
I don't know what they're showing. I haven't seen what they're showing.
Yeah,
so
maybe they might very well for the build that up for the Disney panel. I'm not going for the same. I mean, a lot of different reasons. The trip's not lining up, and then I'll probably, it's harder for me to get to Vegas now than it was in the past. But a lot of people are going. John will be off that week for us, but
we're making a week out of it. We're going from Sunday to Thursday. Have some fun. Snyder will be up there. Ellis is performing, so we're going to see him perform.
Great.
Yeah. So it'll be a good week.
Jack Lewis, just curious, why wouldn't the Academy recognize Chalamet for Dune 3? Just don't like those types of performances? Well, no, it's not that they wouldn't recognize him. He very well might get recognized. The question is him winning again because of everything that just went down. But it'll be a year. Look, a year is a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time and a short time at the same time. So,
yes.
Yeah. Michael D. It'll be 1 year since the cast announcement shares for Doomsday. Really? It's been a year? Holy shit. Think Marvel makes another announcement for the rest of the cast or no? No, I don't think so. But I think we were talking about CinemaCon. That trailer will probably hit. That's crazy. It's been a year. It's nuts. The Dead Man Jax became a member. Good time to be a member. There's a lot of stuff going on. So many unedited reactions and other stuff too. It's a really good time. Nathan Drake, The Rock with that long hair looks kind of off. I think maybe that's what it is, that people just aren't used to him with hair. But
maybe
he looks great. Your movie fights just dropped.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So John, so if you go to Screen Junkies right after this, you can watch John go up against both Coy and who else?
Eric Goldman from IGN.
So there you go.
With Spencer as the
judge.
Hal is the judge, and Spencer is checking the facts if we're wrong or not. That kind of thing. Yeah, Emma had to take off. Unfortunately, she couldn't stay for our show, but it was a blast. The five of us having fun.
There you go.
It was great to be back in there, guys. It's a good episode. It's a good fight too.
Well, it's up there now. Make sure you check that out. That's one plug you get. What about
the channel? YouTube.com/John Roca says, head on over there to hang out with us there. As I said, my Ready or Not 2 review will be up later today. I'm probably going to do a Moana reaction here to that trailer as well. But YouTube.com/John Roca says, let's get to 50,000 subscribers. Jedi Way, Tequila, Spill the Tequila, Hot Mic, Geek Buddies, and The Truth, all there.
You in the casinos? You in the casinos?
Okay, hitting the casinos in Vegas. I'm too old to hit the casinos. What are you talking about? I got to keep my money, not lose it. All right.
Get the hell out of here.
Thank you, guys. Much love. Thanks, Kristian.
Thank you to John Roca. Thank you to you guys for being here. Thank you for this apple who's just been sitting there by itself. Really appreciate you guys a lot. There's a couple more. Here, hold on. So, sorry, Peaky Blinders just tuning in live. Oh, thank you, Carl. Okay, that makes sense. Haskell, Wu-Tang with Bone Thugs and Harmony, Jones Beach. Wow, that's pretty great too. Guys, 86. That's a big day for Roca. Now, can Roxy do it tomorrow? Have another 100 day? It's possible. Thank you guys again for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure you're checking out everything that we got going on. I think I'm going to be dropping, as I said, Game of Thrones season 6 episodes 3 and 4 tomorrow. Ferris Bueller on Wednesday. Friday, we're going to be doing the rest of Game of Thrones. And then we have the Scary Movie franchise coming with Ming. We had a lot of other things happening. So thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. We'll see you all on the flip side. Subscribe, click like, comment, do all that and more. Appreciate you, and we'll see you later.
Did you shit in there?